Fascinating. Mind experiment.
It's no sleep, baby.
Welcome, everybody, to No Sleep, the podcast. You probably weren't sure you'd see us again after the last one. And I do have a statement I would like to read. I wrote out, I have a statement I'd like to read, by the way.
Nice.
I'm a stupid man who often allows the past and future to bleed into the present and fuck things up. It is something I've been working on for some time, but unfortunately, my progress is not linear and can oftentimes be one step forward and two big stinky steps back. In the words of a wise sage, I got probs, Bobs. But I'm working on it, and I'm very thankful to have great friends and a safe place like a live podcast on the internet to have a mentee be. Yeah. So I'd like to say sorry to Toll, Alex, Shyla, Sort of Dave, and all of our listeners for ruining a perfectly good podcast last week. Aww. And thanks for showing me patience and love over all these years. Also sorry for all the times I allegedly got drunk and did cocaine, and that one time with the cough syrup. For further comment, please reach out to Simmons Carter McGrain, attorneys at law, located in the Jethros that used to be a Hooters. I am AJ Simmons. This is No Sleep, the podcast, and I do have two jokes for you as well. Oh, because that was no joke. That was a statement. You know who's got the worst view in the whole movie theater? The screen. You ever look up when you're walking to the bathroom and you're like, we look terrible.
Yeah.
All those white ghostly faces looking at the
shoving food in their faces.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
if you're at Flicks too.
Yeah. And then my other joke. Is this a joke? I support prostitution, but only if they're being paid a price that I would also do that act for. So not much.
That's fair.
At least, if they're getting at least $1, you're okay with it.
That's right. I forgot to pull the rim shot. Anyway, cut to Toll, please.
Oh boy. First, I'd like to start off with my my new Joe Biden impression. Are you guys ready for this?
Yep.
All right. I'll pretend one of you is talking.
Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, man.
That was it. That was the
pretty
whole
good.
Thing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Nailed it.
And my next one isn't really a joke. It's just an observation from the internet as I go through it and what I've been learning. And what I've learned, number one from the internet is that there's a lot of stupid, hot people making a lot more money than me.
It's a fact.
Rim shot. Yeah, that's it. I look at him and I go, why? 1 million people like this?
I can be stupid and hot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm halfway there. Yeah, it's upsetting sometimes.
It is tough. We work very hard.
Yeah.
Work hard for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm always here, you know?
That's true.
One of these days.
He's always here.
That's right.
Cut to Alex.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court who?
Supreme Court, fuck you.
Ah, yes. Boy, oh boy.
Bing bong, bing bong.
Yeah, that's some unpleasant business.
Yeah. Our nation fundamentally changed in a big way today.
The president has absolute immunity when it comes to
whatever the Supreme Court decides he's immune to.
Yeah. It's what's the Bill of Rights? What am I trying to think of here?
The Constitution?
Yeah, the Constitution. Yeah. When he's practicing his constitutional rights, he has absolute immunity, which they send it to a lower court to decide what official acts are also. So it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. One day into my vacation and this bullshit happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was hoping just to whack my bag all day and relax, but
yeah. It is funny, man. It's also like, what do they? I don't understand what anybody. If somebody looks at this man and they're like, you know what? If anybody should be able to get away with absolutely everything, it's this guy that'll try it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't make any fucking. And then if
Not
they
even
don't,
try it, been doing it.
Yes, yeah. And if they don't win, and if he doesn't win, then you just gave Biden immunity. What are you going to say then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's going to
It's
sniff a
fucking
lot
crazy.
of young ladies' hair.
Yeah, although it might be somebody besides Biden now. There's a lot of talk of that, where they're like, we cannot hang because your brain doesn't work.
He does seem a little extra infirm of
Buddy,
late.
that debate was something else.
I didn't get a chance to watch it. Did he come off extra
Oh,
pudding-headed?
buddy. The whole
Yeah,
the
when
entire
when
Democratic Party freaked out
when it started
within the first 10
Yeah,
minutes.
when he walked out, he took 2 steps out. I'm like, oh fuck.
Doddered out onto the
It
stage.
wasn't a good day for him.
And whenever Trump was talking, I don't know if he didn't realize it was a split screen or what, but he was just standing there, mouth agape,
I saw those
staring
clips.
off into the distance. You're like, oh shit.
I follow Foo's Gone Wild,
Yeah.
and they were like, "What's this Foo thinking?" and they zoomed in on
Who's gone wild?
It's a great Instagram, and they just slowly like pushed in on Biden, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, every time they cut to him, he was like this.
Yeah, it's like
We're
this
looking-
podcast.
The good news is that they did polling after the fact, and it changed nothing.
No, I didn't. Debates rarely do.
Right.
Although it changed a lot within the Democratic Party, I would say.
And it did.
Where people were like,
yeah.
holy fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like because the big thing, like the Republicans were spreading a rumor that Biden was going to be using performance enhancing drugs, and that's why he'd be sharp at the debate, because Republicans have been putting this story forward that Biden is just a doddering old man whose brain doesn't work, and Democrats are like, we got you fooled because he's smart as a whip.
Yep. We
And
got
then
him
they-
chock full of dick pills.
And then they brought
If
him out
only.
on stage, and it was like, oh shit, they've been gaslighting our asses this whole time.
I don't know if this was from the debate or a different thing where Obama's kind of like helping him off stage.
He stopped. That was a different thing.
Yeah.
It was like a
Recent-ish,
fundraiser or something,
yeah.
and then he started walking off the stage, and then stopped to look at something. And it was like, please, God, just keep walking. Whenever you're walking, Biden, just keep fucking walking. And then Obama had to be like, come on, Joe. This away, buddy.
Come on, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Because how old is Joe?
81.
God damn. That is fucking old.
My
man.
mom's 81. She would have done a hell of a lot better at that
She would've.
fucking debate than Joe Biden did.
Yeah.
Would have been tough walking for
Yeah,
her still.
that's true.
Yeah, that would have been a bad look regardless.
Yeah, we would have had to wheel her out.
Yeah, there's not a lot of 81-year-olds that look good in that type of
Yeah.
motion.
But I mean, Trump is 78 and he was up there lying like he was smart as a whip, buddy. And totally unchecked. It was like, why do they even have moderators?
Yeah. That was the whole thing was
Who was the moderator?
It was Jake
CNN,
Tapper. Yeah.
dickheads.
Yeah.
CNN was bought by a pro-Trump person a couple of years ago, so now
Really?
now we have this. Yeah, it's all
It was pretty bizarre.
bad, guys. It's all bad.
And a bunch of benign ass rules where it's like 2 minutes, 1 minute response, and they can mute them and stuff. It was,
Really?
yeah, it was pretty fucking stupid. It was to prevent Trump from going off the rails, and then
like filibustering.
yeah,
yeah,
and just interrupting and all that shit. But then they talked about golfing for about 10 minutes, and that was as embarrassing as it could possibly be. Especially
cringe.
Biden being like, "I could beat you any day." It's like, Biden, you could barely walk
Shut
onto
up.
the fucking stage.
Shut up. Just
But don't say this shit.
don't.
Like, be honest. I don't know. It was crazy.
My legs don't work anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
My brain is pretty bad too.
Yes.
We'd respect that.
Yeah.
At least. You know.
It's rough.
Maybe come out and read a statement, Biden.
Yeah.
Worked out pretty good for me.
Statement.
I have a statement. Maybe I should go give it a watch. I mean, is it worth?
No.
seeing?
It's
I
not.
regret
No,
watching
it's
it.
Not. It's not.
It just made me feel much worse about everything.
Exactly.
What's the last great debate? The one I always remember hearing about is the "I knew so and so and you were no so and." It was some classic line in it. Dan Quayle.
Yeah.
I think that was like a legendary line at the time, wasn't it? I knew, who was it? John F. Kennedy. And you're no John F. Kennedy, pal.
Yeah, Dan Quayle, who was running for president, and he misspelled the word potato, and everyone is like, "Fuck this guy, he's done."
Put an E on
Boo! So, yeah, everyone shoved him into a garbage can, and we all
it.
cheered.
Like, what is this guy, a fucking idiot?
Right?
Yeah.
That's all it took in the 80s.
And now it's like, oh, you fucked a porn star? Nah, we don't believe
I
that.
didn't have
Yeah.
sex with a porn. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You dumb shit. Don't. I just.
Right. Didn't she kind of put his dick on blast?
She did. She said it was like a mushroom, like a short
Little mushroom cap.
Yeah.
Nice. One of those Anemita muscaria.
Little spots on it.
Little acne on it.
Oh boy.
Penis acne.
Yeah.
Oof.
Imagine having your dick brought up in court. I mean, good for him. He deserves it. I mean, he does. But.
Yeah, they went into graphic descriptions of the sex for no real reason when she was on stage, on the stand,
On stage.
On stage.
on stage. Yeah.
Man, at that
Spotlight.
point, it was kind of stage. Yeah, they kind of did that with Weinstein too. Because I remember
Yeah.
hearing some wild stuff about him where like he had some sort of penis disease.
Yeah. Something happened. Just wrecked his whole shit.
And he would have to get like injections into it, almost like a stem cell injection for it to even work.
Damn.
And so, yeah, the plot got very.
Wouldn't he like purposely not bathe and shit too? Like to be
sounds
smell
all right.
terrible on purpose? Oh. Like, man, dude, what an awful guy.
Yeah, is he in prison right
Yes.
He was in prison. It got overturned,
Yeah.
but he's also been on trial for the same thing in L.A. I feel like so. I think he's not a free man.
now?
No.
Not a free man.
Him and his weird dick are still in prison. Somewhere.
It was like something about it got over, like they have to retry it or
Yeah,
something.
some
It's
bullshit.
Pretty weird. But yeah.
Did Cosby get let out because of COVID or some shit?
His shit got overturned too, I believe.
That's what I thought. I feel like he quietly was like sort of released back into the wild, Mr. Cosby,
Yeah.
due to like age or some weird shit.
No, it got overturned. It wasn't like a release. It was like
Oh,
I don't know, but he's been quiet since then for some reason.
yeah. You figured that had been kind
He
of like
threatened everyone and then
triumphant-
go back out on tour, and everyone was like, "No, thank you. You and your weird right eye can just stay at home and look at your wife with your good eye, I guess."
Good eye, mates.
Oi!
the Iron Spice Museum.
That's right. That's right.
Where did you learn that?
My sister is the first place I heard it.
I learned a lot of things like I've never heard of from the McGrains. I will say that. You all are very talented with I feel like you all retain information well.
Except,
As a family.
Yeah. Except when I'm on the podcast. And I'm
bong.
like, what was that? What? I heard that somewhere. What was the word? Yeah.
You were no something saying I knew something. Yeah, I'm a real whip smart guy myself. Speaking of whip smart, Dave, you want to saunter over here? You can try to navigate your headphones, but Dave and we're going to let Dave in for just a second here.
Oh,
I will not hand him the microphone, but I will lead it over to him. But Dave and I went on a lovely celebratory date last night
nice.
to Horizon, an American Saga. Chapter
Oh yeah,
1.
yeah. The new 3-hour long Costner Western.
Yeah, I misread. I thought I read 120 minute or 180 is 120, so I thought it was only going to be 2 hours, but it was definitely 3.
miscalculation.
My God.
I was surprised that you guys went to that when The Bike Riders is out, or A
Yeah.
Quiet Place Part 1.
Should have went to A Quiet Place. Are you okay with scary movies, Dave?
I don't care.
Okay, good to know for future reference.
Dave's tough.
Dave
Come
ain't
on.
scared.
I got a lot of notes on this. But, I guess my main takeaway personally, yeah, it was like there was no director and everyone just chose what their characters were and storylines did, like off the dome.
Who directed it? Was it Kevin
Costner.
Costner?
Yeah, he did.
Costner
He's a good
directed.
director, allegedly.
Yeah.
That's why I was shocked.
Dancing with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves. Yeah.
That's Waterworld. No, he didn't do that.
I don't know. Did he direct The Postman? That's not very good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Withdrawn, Your Honor.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I said it to Toll when I got to his place last night, and I said it to Dave. I would say that is the worst movie I've ever seen in theaters.
He qualified that with in theater.
In theaters.
Sure.
Yeah.
You need to catch wild shit at home.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you go into a theater, you're making the whole effort to go to the theater. You pay for the ticket, you get the food.
Yeah.
It's a whole rigmarole.
And when I go to Felix, I'm spending roughly $400 on food.
Right.
Yes.
So I want the movie to be good.
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially if it's 3 hours.
Oh,
No kidding.
Dave, I know Dave leaned over to me, I think about like an hour in, and was like, do you have any idea what's going on in this? That's why I thought I was stupid. I was like, I'm having a mental breakdown.
I love a
again.
movie like that.
It was so strange. I mean, it was.
so what was generally the plot of the movie, if as best you can piece it together?
You want to take a
It's
run
called
at it?
Horizon.
Oh, okay.
Horizon was the name of it.
Horizon, an American Saga.
So-
Oh, chapter none.
They
he
make
do-
a point of chapter 1 at the beginning
Yeah.
of the movie.
Like, don't worry, we got
There's
this all
at
figured
least
out.
3 more hours of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I guess the next one comes out.
For someone else to watch, I should point out, because I will not be watching it. The first 45 minutes is about settling the West. So they show the people who try to settle the West, and then they get killed by Indians because the Indians are like, hey, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
Sure,
They're Apaches.
that's some famous American history right there.
Right.
Hey, get out of here.
And then it switches to another plot line, and you're not really sure why. And then they show Kevin Costner's character being introduced, and you're not really sure why. And it's just a series of these people being introduced and a little bit of a storyline. And then Luke Wilson shows up as like a wagon train driver, and that's when I leaned over to AJ and said, "Are we watching Tropic Thunder right now?" It was so weird having
man.
and I love Luke Wilson. I mean,
yeah,
he's
me
a
too.
tremendous actor.
Great.
But I'm like, is Emo Phillips going to show up next? I mean, I don't know. And then he did. So it was kind of
What?
No, a guy kind of looked like him.
Oh.
I leaned over to AJ and said, "Is that Emo Phillips?" But it was just, it was a lot of that guys from movies.
Yeah.
There's some Yellowstone guys that show up.
Right.
They, yeah, and like every Western movie you've seen, every trope, every storyline, everything is like smashed into one 3-hour movie, but you're not sure what's going on. The only credit I will give him is like if Kevin Costner's character was having a conversation with somebody on horseback, it was always overlooking just a ridiculous view.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every time, I likened it to going the sphere, where you're just like these
Right.
crazy views, but every conversation was had with the backdrop of an incredible valley. I'm
Okay.
like, no.
You're like, so what would you do today? And then like the Grand Canyon.
Yes. Yeah, it was, but I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, I have an idea what the plot is, where it's going to come to a head. But then the most hilarious, and this is giving nothing away about the movie.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything I'm saying is giving nothing away about the movie, because if someone can make sense out of it, they can tell me. But at the very, very end, they do this like 3 to 5 minute, here's what's coming up. And
In the next movie.
just smash cut, smash cut.
A lot of whip
smash
sound
cut.
effects.
So they basically they made a 3-hour long movie an episode of TV.
Or they made a 3-hour preview
Yeah.
for the next movie.
Oh, man.
And it's just, I mean, it's smash cut.
3 hours too.
And it caps it off with Giovanni Ribisi looking out a window. And you're like, what?
Oh, man.
now I kind of want to see this.
No,
I'm sure I'll watch
You're
it.
kind of
at some
selling me
point.
now.
but I honestly think and you said it's been in production for a long time, or maybe Matt Jacobson told me it's been in production for a long time. It feels like something that, due to the success of Yellowstone, they said,
Green light.
Green light. We're going
Yeah.
to capitalize on this. And then, oops, we have Kevin Costner directing it. So it's going to be 73 hours long.
That happens a lot of the time where something will be in development for like decades. And all of a sudden someone big at the moment will get attached to it. And they're like, yeah, sure. And it's clearly like a bunch of unresolved shit they've been trying to hammer out for 35 years and does not come together.
Well, that was
Or
like
you get Teen Wolf, where they're like, let's release it. He's popular now.
I think The Irishman was kind of like that.
What's
too.
that?
They made it and then
Yeah, they were like, and then he got so popular because of Back to the Future and whatever TV show he was on, Family Ties. That they were like, oh, this is a good time to let Teen Wolf out. And they were right.
They were right.
Yeah.
They weren't wrong on that one.
Yeah. The sequel is all montages. You remember that? Did we watch it?
No, we didn't watch
It's
the
like
second
nothing
one.
but montages with nothing happening, and Jason Bateman is now the Teen Wolf. He's the cousin.
If you like Teen Wolf 2, you'll
That's a good endorsement.
Yeah, that's a
right there.
glowing review. Yeah, I have some other notes here. A casserole of scenes that make sense from other movies put into a movie that makes no sense. Is sort of what it is. Where
Wow.
it's like,
I get exactly what you're putting down right there.
yeah, like the thing that keeps coming into my mind is there's a scene where so like 2 hours into the movie, Kevin Costner finally shows up.
Yeah.
A lot of people are there for Kevin Costner. It's amazing you'd make anyone wait that long. And then to give us Giovanni Ribisi at the end, I'm like, what are you thinking? It's who cares about Giovanni Ribisi anymore? But they're in this little town, and they'll do this thing where they cut to someone with like the score and lighting and shooting that should give it the gravitas of something that has been set up for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And there was this scene where like there was this sort of big titted lady hanging out a window.
All right.
Caught my attention.
Nah.
But yeah, it was like in a whorehouse of some sort of brothel. But they're treating it like you've already met her. You haven't met her. You haven't heard anything about her. But she's leaning out the window, sort of setting up or trying to tell you that I guess she's like the gossipy, bitchy one.
Okay.
And they do all that, but they don't have the original part. So now you're like backtracking in your head what this person could possibly be while they're throwing more shit at you.
Okay.
And I'm like, what's going on? Like,
Sometimes I appreciate not being spoon fed what's going on in a movie, but other times you're like, wait a minute.
But
Am I supposed to know what
I
this
like
is?
that too, where it's all very subtle and you're like, I don't really quite. But then a good movie will, as time goes on, you're like, you see the threads all come together. You're like, beautiful. But with this, it sounds like they.
And I think in the next one, they probably will. Like even in this one, you could see them starting to tie it together. It was just set up so poorly and they're jumping so far ahead where it'll just smash cut to like a different area, different people you've never met, and they're shooting someone. And then they'll come back to it like an hour later in that same movie, but like a week later. And
It's
you're
so
like,
crazy.
what happened?
This was 3 hours too.
Well, is
It sounds like it should be like an
3
hour and a half of like kind of nonsense.
And then they go into this planning on making 3 of them.
Yeah.
Was it real
minimum.
ponderous at times where it just like,
It's
like
it's
long-
slow burn for sure.
yeah.
The first 45 is just
A slog.
That
dare I say.
when you make
Yeah.
a 3-hour long movie, you better keep up a certain pace or I'm fucking out.
Yeah. I've seen a few movies where they're like 245 plus,
Yeah.
but it clips. So like, you're like, this makes sense. You could have turned this into part 1 and part 2, but I appreciate.
Yeah.
But I feel like most of the time it's just wasted time. Like you're just being overindulgent and stuffing a bunch of dumb shit into something that makes no sense.
Well, and this is the problem. Oh, I'll pass the mic. Don't you worry about it. I think this is the problem because we were talking about movies that have been in production a long time. This is the problem with like passion project movies. I think a lot of time The Irishman was the same way.
Yeah.
There's too much fat on it. Costner, I remember reading after, because I was like, I have to know how this came together.
Yeah.
Because it feels like a Ford truck commercial kind of that got made into like a 9-hour movie. It's very strange.
as I could be.
Because it's all just like shit that casserole thing really does kind of catch it. It's like, it's just cool parts from other movies that like built up to that moment for the payoff.
All right, I'm gonna go see this
but
movie.
you have to see it.
I'm sold now.
It's like a study in what not to do. Kind of. It's really strange. But I think I was just saying, yeah, I think clearly Kevin Costner has been in love with it from the 80s is what I read way back when.
Yeah.
And he's been trying to get it made forever and ever and ever. So I think he might not even care. He just
I guess I've caught like some news clips of him like talking reckless in the last like week. I'm like, why is Kevin Costner like talking shit about Native Americans and all this other stuff? I'm like, oh, because this movie.
I think he spent a shitload of his own money on it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like $60 million of his own.
You love to see a Hollywood star just get drunk, just get high on their own supply and believe all their own bullshit and turn it into a 3-hour catastrophe.
Yeah, but when you
I'm
think
here
about
for that.
what Costner's done in the last, like, I don't know, 25 years, nothing worthwhile, very little.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yellowstone is definitely
that's
given
what-
any
yes.
more. Everyone loves Yellowstone.
That's true.
and it's
I mean,
good.
movie-wise.
I'm count me in.
Yeah.
I'll
I don't know how
watch
that-
anything Taylor Sheridan writes.
How can he write that many fucking shows?
I think
He writes the Jeremy Renner show, the Stallone show, and fucking, and
He's got a new one coming out.
Yellowstone. It's like every
4 6s is coming out in the next year.
Like, how the fuck can you do this?
Tulsa
Yeah,
Kings.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm like a mob boss.
If I had to guess, he comes up with the storyline. He probably comes out with a season story arc, and then he has people filling in, and then he edits and kind of polishes. And I don't think he writes.
Terrence Winter was that guy like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. He
Dick
wrote
Wolf.
everything.
Yeah.
It was just like omnipresent, writing all these great things. Like some guys just
Steven
got a bunch of good
Bochco.
ideas in the bag or something, and then
Yeah.
people like they'll do one good thing, and execs will be like, "What else do you got?"
Yeah.
"Oh, I got this," and so they'll have a few good things in the bag, and then people want more, and then
Have you guys seen Sicario?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's his.
Yeah.
He wrote that. But going back to AJ's, he brought something up that I was like, oh, that's right. It's like it's an entire movie of Kevin Costner saying "fuck Chekhov's gun." I'm gonna introduce shit, and it's never gonna pay off.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're just
Oh,
gonna
I
have to-
hate that.
You're just gonna have to sit there.
boy,
and
do
eat
I
it.
hate that.
And then I also thought that the new title of that movie should be
Chekhov's Nun.
Magnolia Without a Point,
Oh,
where it's
Ugh.
just random stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't come together.
so is it like a Magnolia type anthology film where it's like there's different stories happening?
So it's like the horizon you never reach.
Yep.
Okay. See what I
getting
That-
jacked off for 3 hours and you don't come. You know?
It's just zero payoff.
just beating up your soft dick.
Yeah.
Like at least with the like the Coen brothers, what was the Ballad of Buster Scruggs
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
they did? Like at least those they all kind of wrapped up in
Yeah.
themselves,
And they're all good on their own.
yeah, they're like standalone episodes
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
This is like 2 minutes.
An anthology. It sounds like an anthology where none of these stories had an ending.
Or even a point. Thisstinks.com. That's,
Oh,
that's the name of the movie.
.gov.
Yeah, .gov.
yeah.
Yeah. Here's another
Nice.
point. This isn't too much of a spoiler. There's a big dumb strong guy that you haven't met yet, right? Like they just cut to a part where it's like an Oregon Trail kind of moment.
Yeah, yeah.
with these people, these wayward travelers. Some of them are like new idiots who are clearly going to die soon.
Yeah.
And then there's like kind of hardened people that maybe made this trip before. And then a big dumb strong guy saves some horse and wagon, and everyone almost like Rudy style, like puts them on their shoulders in a way that like we haven't even met, we just met him.
Right.
We met him doing this. Like,
Yeah.
like we don't give a fuck.
We're not invested.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't give a shit.
It was just really stupid. And
Yeah.
then later, him and another guy get caught like whacking off to some naked lady. I'm like, what? Like, what's the through line here?
That is bizarre.
Yeah. And then one of the antagonists looks like a mixture of Chris Angel, Mind Freak, and Ben Foster. Yeah, that
Was
guy.
it Ben Foster?
It was not. I wish it would have been. He's the guy that gets shot.
He's from Iowa. No big deal.
Ben Foster. Mm-hmm. Nice.
He went to Maharishi School in Fairfield.
That always trips me out that that's in Fairfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miles of stories about that place.
Not tonight, Dave. Not tonight, sweetie. Moral of the story, that movie stinks. Dave and I both hated it.
I'm glad to hear. I mean, I'm not glad it's stunk.
I am going to watch the next one, though, because I feel like I have to now.
In the theater?
In the theater.
Wow.
Because I need to know, like, if they're, like, how they're going to get to it. And that
Maybe that's the whole... You just fell for the fucking hook then. That's what it was.
That's why I'm wondering, because I am a little
You
curious.
bit the worm.
I like Kevin Costner, so
Yeah.
I want to give him $30.
Yeah.
Right.
He needs
He
it.
has a good mustache, and I'll give him that.
I think about that. I was actually going to bring that up. Is like, where are they taking all the time to do such well manicured facial hair in the Old West?
That's all they cared about back then.
Yeah.
Waxed mustaches.
Yeah, there were
finely
quite a few
combed.
scenes where, like, the hot lady, Dave made a good point about this, where it's great that everyone in the Old West, apparently, as soon as their husband or wife is brutally killed by a Native American tribe, within 3 weeks, they're, like, ready to fuck.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just don't think that's how it would
That's
work.
Kevin Costner's fever dream right
Yeah.
there.
Where it's like, of course she'd want to fuck me.
Yeah. That was the whole point of Dances with Wolves, I think.
It's very much that vibe. Yeah. Like a guy will have his face eaten off by like a pack of wolves, and she's like, well, anyway.
How's your penis?
It's really,
Yeah.
Like the tone is strange in the movie. Like,
I find that happens in lots of movies where the significant other is killed off. And as the movie goes on, the hero is like, well, what about this hot ass bitch I saved earlier?
Yeah.
Like, all right.
I mean, my wife would want me to fuck.
Yeah.
We
Up
can
in
all
heaven.
agree on that.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. This will be my last note from this. So I was on my phone typing notes because I was like, I can't forget any of this. There's more here. I guess I think I've covered most of it. But about two hours in, where I'm really like dragging now, I'm like, fuck, I might see if Dave wants to leave.
Wow.
Which I had mentioned to Dave was like, I think that might be the only time that's ever
That is
actually
low
happened to me.
praise.
Yes.
Yes.
It's rare. Like not even Scorsese's newest one, which was very long.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
For how long it was, it did go by relatively fast.
Yeah.
Considering it was like 3.5 hours. I have never
3 hours and
walked
40
out of a
minutes.
movie in
Never?
my whole life. I've never walked out of a movie. I've always powered through the whole thing. This was the closest I've ever been to walking out. Partly because I thought it was only 2 hours.
Yeah,
and I was like, 120
Oh,
minutes
man.
my ass. Must be the credits included or something.
Me and my buddy went to see Gone with the Wind with my sister when we were like freshmen in high school. And it got to, I don't know, 90 minutes in. And then it was the intermission, which I didn't know
Intermission.
was a thing. And we were like, thank God that fucking movie's over. My sister was like, no, it's only halfway through. God.
Strange Brew had the best
Yeah.
intermission of all time.
Yes.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah. What a great movie. Yep.
Yeah. What's that movie about?
It's two dumb Canadian brothers.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, yeah.
We covered that on Let's Ruin Our Childhood.
Yeah. Okay. Is this with
Bob and Doug
Moranis?
McKenzie.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Rick Moranis
I have not
and
seen
Dave
it, but
Thomas.
I've seen like pictures, I believe, from it.
I think the last movie
Hockey vehicle you're ever gonna watch.
God.
I went to that had an intermission that I can remember was Unforgiven.
Did that?
That was a long time ago.
It does not on the Blu-ray, but that's highly possible.
It did in it did in theaters. I
In
remember.
the Killers of the Flower Moon, there were theaters in Europe that were adding an intermission to it, and Scorsese was like, "Nope, you're supposed to watch it the whole way through."
Sit your ass
Yeah.
back
What the
down. Where are you going? Sit down. Keep
But,
watching.
It's too fast paced.
Yeah,
But we want to smoke.
yeah.
It was at a Dracula.
They were in Romania,
Transylvania.
Yeah, it's a screening in Transylvania.
but I need to smoke a cigarette.
Yes, this movie sucks. But anyway, yeah. So 2 hours in, the median age of the attendees at this movie were like 55-year-old white guys,
course.
basically, and some of them with their
Their significant
significant,
others,
of course, dragged to it, I'm sure. And I look over, there's one seat between me and an older fella. who I'm sure I would
You
not
put a
agree
seat
with
between you and
politically.
Dave?
That's right. Dave and I, one big straw we were sharing. But I looked over as I'm like befuddled, confused, like almost angry at how confused I am at this movie. I look over and there's like a solitary tear rolling down this guy's cheek where I'm like, how do you get it?
You never know.
Maybe that's why he's crying. Yeah.
That guy could have the same affliction as me.
Yeah.
Where something on the
Juicy
screen
eyes.
just triggers
A
them.
parade comes through the
Yeah. And then his eyes are all juiced. Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, what a strange movie. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Dave?
Movie suck. Don't go see it.
All right. I won't.
Unless you want to go see part 2 with me in August.
I'll probably have seen part 1 by
Yeah.
then.
Can we do it like Rocky Horror style?
Yeah.
And just throw
thinking.
shit at the screen. Yeah. That'd be fun.
I need to see how this ends.
Giovanni Ribisi, though.
After AJ saw that, he came over to my house
That's right.
and we watched House of the Dragon. And then we watched, I was real excited because this weekend I bought the director's cut edition of Payback. Have you guys ever seen Payback?
Oh,
with Mel
the
Gibson?
Mel Gibson movie.
I fucking love that movie. So the director's cut is not even, it's not even the same movie. AJ left like halfway through. It's not even, what's his face? Songwriter, handsome old songwriter guy isn't even in it. Chris Christopherson isn't even in it. It's a woman that plays his character. There's like a bunch of romance shit. I was like, what the fuck?
What is
I was
the
like,
what is the plot? I can't remember what is the plot of that movie.
his wife betrays him, and another guy and his wife betray him because his wife thought she was cheating on him, and they rob some Asian guys of 130 grand, and then they shoot him and leave him for dead, and he wants his half back, which is 70 grand. And the whole movie, they're like, only 70 grand? What is this fucking maniac doing all this shit for 70 grand? But the way the edit, the not director's cut is a much better movie than the director's cut.
Yeah.
That is
'cause I was starting to
generally true.
Yeah.
I was starting to second guess.
Directors
Toll's
can be a little
taste.
self-indulgent sometimes. and
Dude,
make some real
and it's
crap.
funny because when you read the trivia, the guy has openly complained about them like chopping his movie up, and I was like, they made a much better movie than you made.
So
Which
Chris
is-
Christopherson was not. So
He's the main villain in
the good one.
Gibson in the original.
Who
Yeah.
directed
Yeah.
it?
Brian Helgeland, I think.
Oh, sure.
yeah.
No problem.
If you were directing Shitty Magnolia, aka Horizon,
Correct.
how long do you think? How you could have smashed that film into something meaningful? How long would it have been?
It would have been credits to credits.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think you would just have to choose. I mean, I wrote down here that there was roughly 55 different antagonists you're trying to keep track of. So it's like, let's cut that down to like 10, you know?
Yeah.
Like shit like that where it's just less anthology, I guess. I mean, whittle it down to 3 to
Focus
5.
the story is what it
focus
sounds
it,
like
yeah.
to me.
Were there any musical numbers, or what was taking up so much time there?
Well, it
There's
was
so many stories.
There were
It
so many
sounds-
stories to set up. There really was. I mean, when you see it, I think you'll be shocked at how many stories they start setting up. To the point where, like I said, they would set up one thing, like this lady who runs into a house, shoots a guy in a cabin or something, and there's a baby crying. That's literally like the whole scene. And she like runs out of the house, and then they pick that up again like an hour and a half later, and you're like, oh yeah, this bitch.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, remember because she.
Oh, I do now.
Yeah, exactly. Exhibit A. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like there's so many of them they are setting up that by the time you get around to, it's like that Uncle June quote I love. Some people are so far behind the race, they actually think they're leading.
Oh, yeah.
You think you know everything.
Sitting over here waiting like patients on a monument. Junior's other side.
Love Uncle June.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, but I really think it would just be a matter of, my professional.
Did Costner direct Wyatt Earp? He might have. Did he direct the Hatfields and McCoys? He might have directed that also.
He loves cowboy shit.
He
that's
does,
for sure.
and Wyatt Earp was a much
See you, Dave.
a much
Bye, Dave.
less good
Back to the
telling
cage
of the
you
Wyatt
go.
Earp story than Tombstone. And nobody cared about the Hatfields and McCoys when that came out. Although I think some people
It was good. I watched it.
Yeah.
It was like a 3-part series.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Dave went back to his salt lick. You can't be long with that. Yeah, exactly. We have a little water bottle that hangs.
Yeah.
Little spout. Yeah, really, really a shit movie, a shit box of a film. My final thoughts on that. It did leave me with one thought, though. I would, I guess this was House of the Dragon, but I'm going to say it anyway. I would like a raven or large bird that will screech my demands in the face of my enemies. That's something I've been
Oh, nice.
kind of like your crow, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But I love the idea of that because they never show you like unless it has a scroll on its little foot.
Right.
Yeah.
What does it do when it gets there? It just yell.
Yeah. I just saw today that RFK Jr. has 2 crows that he's taming
Oh, God.
outside of his house. And I was like, what a
The
fucking
dumbest
loser.
man in the country.
I wish I had some crows.
Yeah. What's a guy got to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, on Kevin Costner did not direct.
Okay.
Well,
Did star in, though.
nice.
Dude.
Well, and I even told Toll when I got to his house that I was like, I've become, quite the little fan of Westerns of late.
Yeah.
As I've become older, much like Steely Dan. It's like these things sort of come to a white
Yeah.
man of my age.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true. You don't ask for it. You don't want it.
You
but
don't
get
like
it.
new music anymore?
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
Except for Chapel
Foghat
Roan.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of World War II.
Yeah, exactly. So I was excited. I was like, this is gonna be a lovely way to spend like my first kind of day off. I'm gonna
yeah.
go watch a movie a little at 6 p.m. a little early. That's nice.
Then you're there all night confused.
Yes, confused and angry.
But at least you were full, I hope.
Yes, I was.
What'd you have to eat?
I set aside the cheese curds. Normally I get cheese curds and a cheeseburger and fries. No, I passed on the cheese curds. Nice big fat burger. Onion rings instead of fries.
Okay.
A
They had
saucer of
Flicks?
ranch to dip it in.
Do they have the thick ones at Flicks or the stringy ones?
They're thicker.
thicker.
Oh, I prefer.
Yes,
the thick.
they were very good. I can honestly say I have not had a bad bite to eat at Flicks in my life.
Yeah.
And I've tried quite a bit of their menu.
It makes watching a lot of stupid Marvel movies a lot easier. I'll tell you that much.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's I'm fine with going to like Toll and I went and saw. What did we see? Remind me. We went to Jordan Creek. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, I very good.
Yes, and I did get some snacks there, so I can I can do it. But I like to be at my home sweet home flick.
Yeah, yeah.
Same.
I like to be able to get my nachos and things like that.
That's Sarah brought over. All of her stuff is moved in, but she has not moved in yet. So like everything that was in her fridge and cupboard, she just brought it over. And on Friday night,
Oh boy.
I was like, man, I sure would like to drink. I was like, don't drink, you fucking lush piece of shit. You know what I did instead? I ate all of Sarah's food. Like every single bit. I was like, oh, granola bars and Teddy Grahams for the child? Perfect.
I'm a child at heart.
Yes. Ate it all. She had some soft serve strawberry ice cream, the blue bunny kind.
Oh, yeah.
And also peanut butter crackers, peanut butter cracker sandwiches, and there was like 8 of those. I ate every single fucking one of them, and I was dipping them in the strawberry soft serve.
Yeah,
And I was like, sweet and salty. Num 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 num.
You're like, look out, Everly. It's
Yeah.
a brand new bag over here.
Yeah.
You got to fight for yours.
That's right. And I was like, damn. Like honestly, I've said it before. If I give myself no limit to eating,
No limit soldier.
buddy, I think I'm like a fucking pig. Like I could eat until I died, depending on what it is.
like a dog. Like there's
Yeah.
certain dogs that you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
like cut off the food bag.
Yeah, like you
know?
can't just leave it open for them, or
Yeah.
they will eat till they're
Yeah.
fucking die.
That's you.
And I think it is. I think if I give myself,
Overindulging?
yeah, I know it's crazy. Who would have thunk it? But yeah, god damn, I probably ate like 5 granola bars.
Well, and there's
Holy
something.
balls!
There's something about girl snacks that are always better. You know.
Yeah. It's kind of true. They buy
It's
stuff
true.
you would never buy.
Like when you go to a friend's house, like when I've been over to Alex and Angela's house, Angela always has great snacks. And I'm like, I know Alex didn't think of this.
No.
As smart as my friend is, he didn't think of these snacks.
Right. But
They think of those little crackers, like these little cheese crackers, where I was
Yeah.
like, I would walk right by those. I just wouldn't even think twice.
Yeah,
I
a
would think
dude
twice,
living
but
by
I would never
himself
buy them.
just makes mac and cheese steaks. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, in a toaster oven.
Right.
That's
You,
right.
you don't get Teddy Grahams.
No.
But then you have them.
You don't get a
like,
little
wow.
pub mix.
No.
You know, you don't get
Yeah.
fancy chips and dips and
Yeah, I came over a few times, as a matter of fact, the Carters, and Angela had like taken multiple types of sour candies and then like created her own pub mix of sour candies in a big ass bag.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I have no
bag.
teeth now.
Yeah.
I have dentures.
But I also will. If I do buy snacks, they don't. I
They're
don't.
here and
I
they're
don't.
gone.
Yeah, I don't buy snacks
Right.
to last.
Yeah.
you don't even take it out of the grocery bag. You just open it up.
Yeah, I just cut a hole
Don't
in the
even bother
bottom
with
of
the
it
bowl,
Yeah.
sweetie.
and pour it in my mouth. Like a fucking cartoon character.
Yeah.
Yep. Then I
Yeah,
cut
you
open
are like
the
a
next
cartoon cat where you like
Yeah.
pull like the fish bones out.
Yeah.
egg. Yeah. I mean, I do like if I buy a box of cookies, I'm aware. I'm like, you know why you bought these, so don't fucking judge yourself when you eat this whole box in 16 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't. I just go, hell yeah.
Good work, buddy.
I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah. I hope somebody somewhere
pull
has
up a
gotten an
little hand
insulin
mirror,
shot
you're
for
like,
me. Yeah.
Look at you.
Well, you inspired me last night. I was told all the crackers. I watched him start to eat a pint of ice cream that looked very good. It was like chocolate marshmallow something
Yep.
with
That's what it
fudge
was.
stripes and some other thing. He read I told him to read the description. To me.
Read it.
Read it out loud.
Read it.
And then he just like, I kind of want a pint of ice
Yeah.
cream. And then he left.
And then I promptly left his house, went directly to Casey's,
yeah.
bought a pint of Haagen-Dazs caramel cone.
Oh, nice.
Which is great, by the way, and a entire bag, not the little bag, like the party bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. So I ate the whole bag of Doritos.
Oh my goodness.
One sitting.
Nicely done.
And then I was like, took that little top off the pint. I was like, yeah, let's just leave the bowls in the cupboards tonight, shall we?
Yes.
No need.
Yeah, no need.
No need.
Yep.
And that's no disrespect to
a
Black Cat. If
single
I had
serving.
Black Cat at the store,
Oh,
would
I know.
have
I
it.
absolutely
There's
agree.
no bad ice
Yeah.
cream.
Yes.
I'm not faulting you.
But you better believe the spoon just.
Dave wants us to call on him.
I have a question for Alex from the audience.
Yes.
Question from the audience
Dave?
for Alex.
Best store-bought ice cream.
Best store-bought
As
ice
an
cream.
ice cream expert, what's the best store-bought?
He is an expert.
My favorite that I haven't bought in a while actually. I eat very little ice cream, oddly enough.
That's
but my
isn't that
favorite was Ben and
drink no
Jerry's
craft beer.
Americone Dream, the
I
Stephen
love-
Colbert one. That
I
was
love
my
that
jam.
one, dude.
I need to remake that myself. It's not available anymore.
It's got the little cone tips.
got little chocolate
yeah.
cover, like little cone pieces, and
Yeah.
I think caramel.
It's fucking awesome. That's
Yeah.
my go-to generally.
Yeah, that's a real good one.
Yeah, it doesn't sound far off from what I had last night.
Yeah.
What I made love to last night.
Sweet,
Yeah.
passionate.
You eat a hole in the middle first. And then you go,
No, I just keep going. I just keep leveling down, level down, level down,
Yeah.
level down, level down.
I got
I do that turtle shell all over my penis. You know, where it's the stuff you put on the. Have you ever used that where you like pour it on the ice cream and it like?
Oh,
Yeah,
magic
it's like magic
shell.
shell where it
Oh,
hardens,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you gotta crack it open.
I love that.
I do that on
yeah.
my dong.
Dangus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry.
The old
Shot.
cherry dip penis, you know?
I got some Price Chopper must be discontinuing some brand of gelato that they sell. Gelati. It's like layered
that's
layered
Oh,
gelato.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So it was only $3, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
That shit was expensive too.
It was like
Yeah.
$8. I was
Yeah.
like, "This is like less than half price." I'm
Yeah.
getting one of these.
I'm losing
I never-
money if I don't buy
That's
this.
right.
Be a fool not to do
That's
this.
absolutely true. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to dig all the separate layers, but I did. And I'll tell you. And then you get to the candy layer, and you're like, "Oh, baby, it's the best layer yet."
I like to buy a pallet. please.
Yes. That's the thing, especially ice cream, like you've said. It's like a drug. It's like once you
It
eat
is.
some of it,
Ooh.
you're
It
like,
sure is.
yeah.
It's that
Like,
sugar,
well-
man. It's like crack.
I need to start selling black hat ice cream with DoorDash, but after hours, and it's $30 a pint. It'll sell.
It will.
It'll sell.
After dark.
Yeah, after dark. Yes.
That'd be nice. I would do it.
AJ would buy it for sure.
That is guaranteed. Because that's the thing is like, much like the girl snack conversation, when I'm left to my own devices, I'm trying to be good, which I've been trying to be. It's like nothing but meal prep. It's chicken thighs. It's an avocado that never gets eaten, but it sits there and looks at me all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe a banana. All these things. But then I get to dirty little Toll's house. It's not dirty now. But dirty in a like food slut type of way.
Right. Yeah. In a sexy
sometimes.
food way.
Or because
Mac and cheese steaks.
Yeah, well, because Toll last night got to see me smoke weed for the first time in like 2 months, which the best way I can
Bore
describe
witness.
it was like putting on a hat that you broke in for years and it just fits your head perfectly. I went
A hat that
Now on
melts
me
all
again.
over your entire body
Yeah,
and
right.
a warm caress.
I felt all the anger leave my body. Toll has Sarah's couch now, and it's like looks very.
Yeah.
This is stuff we were talking about, though. I mean, it's not even unboxed really yet, but they come in and it just like gets better. You know, like
What
the
gets better?
like the whole place. Like now you have a headboard. Now
Like
you have
the
a
living.
Oh, yeah.
There was like a lamp in the corner now and stuff.
yeah.
I was like, nice
Upgrade,
You know, it's not
upgrade,
just the
upgrade.
puzzle lamp anymore. You
No.
know what I mean,
Which is still there, though.
that should never leak.
When's move-in day?
They've moved. Well, they're going to be there on Wednesday.
And this is no disrespect to the old place. I'm just saying, you know, like certainly there's some.
I mean, I
more
lived.
snacks.
Yeah, I understand what
Yeah.
it was like. yeah.
There's no illusion.
Yeah, I was there.
Well, and it was funny because I looked
Toll's
over
there.
and there was like the blinds that I've seen for many, many years over there. You know, they have some smoke on them, some
Yeah.
things like that. I look over, I'm like, damn, those blinds look good. Like, because I figure you just have to buy new ones. And Toll was like, yeah, they clean one, and then we're like, we can't clean anymore.
Yeah, they fully did. They cleaned one set of blinds and texted Sarah and like, we're not cleaning the blinds. Heads up.
They were probably pretty.
Hola, we are not cleaning the blinds. Yes.
New set of blinds costs $18. It'll cost you $500 for us to clean it.
Yes.
But that one set looks pretty good.
Yeah. They got, and now there's a bunch of new blinds.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sarah's there with her parents unpacking.
So
during
where's
the day.
Groot at now?
He's in the basement. He'll be in the Vaporium.
The Vaporium and Oddities shop.
Yep. That's right.
Oddities.
Remember when they used to have one of those inside of Lefties?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Very briefly over
Like over
COVID.
that wall
Yes.
yeah, for a little while. That was strange.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? No, I know.
Oh.
That is when
Who
I kind
would've
of started
thought?
vaping. Yeah. Pandemic was good vaping years for me now that I think about it.
It was for everyone.
What flavor do you rock in that thing?
It's a menthol. There's only two options.
It's probably smart that you don't go down the fruity route.
Yeah, I don't want to.
'Cause the fruity ones are too good.
Yeah, although
They're too good.
if I fully quit smoking, I might do that.
I mean, I was able to do it, and my
Yeah.
dad, I watched him do it too. So I think you can do it, like going from
Yeah.
the cigs. To
I can
the
do it.
vape.
I mean, I can do it with this.
Go from a pack of Marlboro Lights today to a Tutti Fruity, fresh and fruity vape.
Tutti fruity. Yeah.
Booty scooty.
Yeah. That was a good complete thought from me. You're welcome.
Hey. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed like your brain working differently the times you've quit booze? Like, I know that when I first quit weed, really first quit anything, like a week or two was my brain would not fire
Oh yeah.
at all.
Oh yeah. I always worry about that first podcast or first couple. And then I worried like, oh, I have all this stuff to do. And I'm actually pretty proactive on booze.
Right.
Like I get a little booze in
lifting
me.
weights.
When I have stuff to do, I'm like, oh, have some drinks and I'll do some stuff and keep drinking.
Time to fix this
And then-
fix fish tank.
That's right. And then when I stop for a couple weeks, I'm like, doing things is very hard and I don't want to do them. But I managed.
Your reward system
Yeah.
is like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a treat.
Yes.
Give me a treat.
Yeah.
I'll do things for you. You do things for me.
Yep.
It is kind of like that. That's a good way to put it.
That definitely is.
I treated myself last night.
Yeah. Mine, I mean, it's also like you're feeling good. Might as well do something, which is another way.
Yeah, it's easier to do something when you do feel good.
Yeah.
Getting stoned.
When you got
and
a
then
pint of ice cream under
if
your
you have
belt.
to mow the lawn, get stoned. You'll love mowing the lawn. You got to do a bunch of laundry, get stoned. No problem.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The warm clothes in your hands. You're like,
Sure. It's a whole new
"Ooh."
world.
One of my favorite things to do is get stoned. And I'll take the whole basket. I'll lay on the bed and I'll dump it on me. When it's all
Well, it's warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warm and toasty, good
It's a good
smell.
feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like,
That sounds nice.
it is nice.
It's the little things, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that. before.
MFW, when you nut and she keeps sucking.
Oh, yeah.
Pouring laundry on yourself.
I just love the MF, whatever, the little internet acronyms and slang. I like to be up on that stuff. I'm hip.
No cap.
Riz.
Yeah.
Riz.
The Riz. That one took me a while to figure out, actually. It means just like your coolness, right?
Yeah.
Your swag.
I saw a
Charisma.
little.
Oh,
See, a bunch of little kids were disagreeing with that on a video I watched yesterday. They were interviewing adults, asking adults what they thought Riz meant, and 5 adults in a row said charisma. And they were like, "You're the 5th person in a row."
Yeah, because that's the correct answer. Little assholes. It is.
Well, those kids didn't think
Charisma.
so.
That's because kids are stupid.
Did they say what they thought it was?
I stopped watching.
I can't argue with these kids.
Yeah,
All spending his hours arguing on.
Enough from the kids.
but you know what a grizz is, right?
That's what's on that sweatshirt.
It's taking a pee with a boner.
He
got that grizz.
Yeah. That's a grizz.
I don't got the Riz. I got the Grizz.
That's right. The morning grizz.
You still get those?
No, not like I used to.
Yeah. I found when I went totally sober, like stone cold Steve Austin sober, I did get morning wood again.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
Because your hormone cycles are back on.
It depends
what
on
it
if I
is?
have
What
to
it
pee
is.
or not, or how
Yeah.
badly in the morning.
Because I hear
Pretty
the
much.
weed fucks up your REM cycle or something.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't dream as much.
Yeah.
I know that.
I've been
at
dreaming
least.
like crazy. Well, I mean, I did dream last night, though I had smoked. Yeah.
It doesn't stop me. I smoke regularly, and I still dream at night. But when I had my breaks, the dreams were. It was like a party all night in my brain. Yeah.
Dude, that
Yeah.
first time I quit drinking, I was like, maybe this is why I drank, because I have nothing but just terrifying fucking night terrors for like a month.
Right.
I was like, and those have led up a lot.
That's good.
You still having the famously you had the recurring nightmare of a truck skidding across your family. You still have that
Yeah.
one?
No, I haven't in a long time.
That's good.
Mhm.
That was a terrible dream.
Yeah, where everyone dies and then
And like repeats,
reanimates.
yeah.
Yeah, and then the truck just keeps rolling over them again and again.
What kind of truck?
Like a big old semi, like a big white
Okay.
semi, and they're all like in the field, and then the truck rolls over them, and I'm like, holy shit, everyone's dead, and they all get up after I'm like,
They shake it
and
off.
then it happens again, and it just keeps going.
Wow. Because you've had like teeth dreams too, I remember.
Lots of teeth.
I don't think I've had a teeth dream.
Have you had any dreams about your upcoming child?
I haven't. Not a one. I don't know what that means.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just curious.
No, I haven't. I don't know what I've been dreaming about lately, but I haven't had any real nightmares as of late.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
Have you had
whatever that
dreams?
means. Yeah, I still have dreams, not memorable ones.
Got some real Kevin Costner dreams, huh?
Did I tell you guys I fucking
3 hours long. Don't mean anything.
Fucking boring.
meeting was bullshit. I fucking fell out of my bed on Monday.
In a dream or for
No, in
real?
fucking life.
This is my life.
Sarah's stuff is at the house, so I'm sleeping on the wrong side of the bed.
Which side of the bed do you sleep on?
Let's see if I'm facing my head
Side with the ashtray.
my head against the wall, I would be on the right side of the bed.
Okay.
And so I'm on the left side of the bed. And not only, so I do my stand, like I do this, like my back's all and shoulders are all fucked up. So when I roll over, it's like a seal trying to move around. You know?
Yeah, I get
I'm
that.
like, huh.
Yeah.
And I fucking was dead asleep. And the next thing I know, I was like, ah! And I fucking fell off the goddamn bed. Stone cold sober.
Disoriented.
Yeah.
Where do you sleep on your bed, AJ? You sleep alone, so you in the
Yes.
middle of the bed? You have a side?
No, I'm always on the side. If I ever have company and it's the summertime,
Company.
if I ever
Wink.
have company and it's the summertime, I sleep where the air conditioner is because I feel like it's rude to have that blow on their face all night.
Okay.
So
After
I-
you blew on their face all night.
That's right.
Oh!
Because it's very like it almost freezes my head off, you know, because
Yeah.
it's like right there. But normally I sleep. So if I'm looking at the bed, it would be the left side. Yes,
Stage right.
stage right.
I guess if I was at the
House
foot of the
left,
bed
stage right.
looking at the bed, I would call it the left side also.
Oh, okay.
And I sleep very, very close to the edge. Like as close to the edge as I can get. And I
Really?
don't really know why.
I do the almost none of my lower half is covered when I sleep. I like my legs to be spry.
Hot legs.
Yeah.
You can't have hot legs.
Yeah, at least one is out and kind of out of the covers and over, kind of locking in. Because I'm sort of I remember at parties, I would kind of pass out drunk, and I was so used to having like a pillow in between my legs,
Yeah.
so I would wake up with my hands in between my legs like this, just like that, you know.
Yeah.
Do you ever do like the knee pillow, like in between?
Yeah.
I have,
Anymore,
or
like
you
sleeping
grab
for me as a
Angela.
whole, like I sleep on the left side of the bed and I sleep on the very edge because when Angela and I were dating, we had a tiny bed. So I'm just used to like having, so we have a king bed now, plenty of room.
Damn.
But I'm always on my
Ice
little
cream
left
king
side.
of Des Moines.
Yes.
Sleep on my side. I have to sleep with a pillow, like a body pillow that I can put my weight on because I sleep on my side and my shoulders are wrecked from sleeping on my side. Like they're almost constantly in pain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I put pressure on them all night as I sleep. So I have a side pillow, gotta be on the left side.
Show me with Toll how this looks.
So that's a whole complicated thing. Like it used to be back in the day,
Right.
I'd fall asleep in bed,
Right.
face first.
Pizza under the pillow.
Yeah, right.
They say
No
the
problem.
the ideal way to sleep is on your back.
Yeah, but that's
Really?
And I've never
That's what
done
they-
that in my life.
Makes
Never.
me snore.
Yeah.
whenever-
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
probably snore anyway, but when I got my sleep study, when they hooked me up to all the machines and stuff, they put me on my back to make me snore because they were like, generally speaking, if you have sleep apnea, which I
Yeah.
do, I think it's
Do you?
I do, but I have the type where it's not like from being overweight. It's like
no, but still.
like even in my dreams, I want to kill myself. Basically, is what they say. No, it's something. I
Your
think-
body's had enough of you.
Yeah. It's something to do with they told me I was thick of neck and that also
We saw that.
Yes. I have like a thick throat.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, something to do with like certain people's brains and like breathing and stuff. Because I'll
Oh, yeah.
notice it
No,
even when
it's
I'm
a-
working on stuff, I'll hold my breath sometimes. Like I'll do weird little things. So I think I'm just not a good breather. As breathing goes. Shiloh like that one.
Shiloh, where do you sleep?
On my back? What do you mean?
Like in the middle of the bed, you have a side?
Yeah.
We need a
I'm on the
Shiloh
side.
cam.
I'm wherever the dogs let me.
Oh,
basically.
sure, of course. I understand
the
that.
ferrets.
Right. With the zoo lets you sleep.
Yeah, it's like
You're just curled up in a ball at the
Yeah.
bottom of the bed.
Yeah.
it's like a king bed with two dogs and a kid.
Little dog bed that Shiloh sleeps in at the end.
It says Shiloh on it.
Yeah. It's got like an old toy shih tzu.
Dave, what's yours?
Typically the right side.
Okay.
Stage right?
I don't know what that means. Yes.
Like looking at the bed.
Yep. I'm usually on the right and then on my side.
Okay.
What are your pillow situation?
This might be
Yeah. The older you get, the more pillows are like a stabilizing force.
I've I've got
like a fortress.
Yeah.
2 leg pillows.
Here we go.
I've got 2. I got 5 regular pillows that I just kind of nestle into and
Yeah.
get comfortable with. And
Like around, like surrounding you.
That's a single man sleeping right there. That's the king of the bed.
He
right
burrows.
there. Yes. Yeah.
I still slept like I had no space.
Really?
Alone.
Yeah, man, me too.
I sleep on the edge of the bed like I'm like ready to fucking.
I know.
That's why I fell off the fucking bed on the wrong side.
If my wife's gone, I still have the same king bed, and I'm still just on my own little shit on the side, just hanging
Yeah.
in there. That's the way it works.
I
Yeah.
also go to bed fully clothed in case I have to get up in the middle of the night and do something.
I go to bed clothed, but as the night goes on, I remove because when you have kids, you have to keep clothes on because who knows what's going to happen in the middle of the night. You have to jump up and whatever. But yeah, it's a whole thing.
Oh
I
boy.
never thought about that.
Yeah.
It's dad shit.
Because
right
I always
there.
do like, I always
My dad
start
did.
with like shirt, shorts, like this. Basically, this is like my sitting at home
Sure.
outfit,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
it is. you
Everyone
know?
has a sit at home outfit. Don't laugh at that, Dave.
Yeah. How dare you?
How dare you?
Outfit.
Yeah. It's an outfit.
It's a fit.
I only have that in the winter where I put on my pajama pants.
There you
Well,
go.
sure. We all live in pajama pants from October till late April.
Yeah.
It's true.
I have my house Crocs and my going out Crocs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I do think I popped the shirt off.
Yeah, sure. It's got to come off.
Mainly for the neighbors. Wink, wink. The McGrain girls.
Yeah.
Across the street, across the way. I make sure to have like a backlight and then I pop it
Oh,
off.
very slowly. Then you pour water on
Yeah.
yourself gently.
They just hang out the window and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. Just being broody over here. When Joe Ellen Toll's mom met my mom, she was like, "Don't worry, I keep a good eye on him at night." I was like,
That's
"She
true.
sure does." That's right. Nothing bad will ever happen to me as long as Joe Ellen's
Nope.
watching.
That's so funny that you live next to Toll's family. That's just a real chef's kiss.
They get to see my shadow like go take a dump at night and stuff.
Oh, look, AJ shitting. Yeah, come on.
Ooh, this must be
Gather
a
on the
tough
window.
one.
They always
Yeah.
send me a text.
Yeah, he's in there for a while this
Yeah.
time. Need to up that fiber, AJ. Get some Metamucil.
I can't recommend it enough.
I like the sleep talk, though. I mean, we have a great name of a podcast for it.
Sleep talk. So here's how crazy I am. So I sleep with side pillow, my other pillow. I usually have to have one on. I slept with one on my head. I need a hole to breathe out of. You keep my eyes covered, and then I have to have a fan on.
Yeah, same.
And then I also put noise canceling earbuds in and listen to a fan on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, because you,
Damn.
if I remember correctly, if I go back through my podcast mind, you have sort of insomnia issues,
oh,
don't
big
you?
time. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a constant battle to sleep. Yeah.
So you have a real fan. So I guess that must be for the skin sensation.
That's for the coolness factor,
Right.
but I also need the noise.
Do you literally set it to a like fan?
I
The
have an
sound?
app and there's like 50 options of sounds. And I have 3 different fans. I have oscillating fan, computer fan, and then like some other
Box fan right in your face.
Yeah. So it's those
macaroni
3.
in a pot fan.
Yeah.
You're like, Angela, no.
Oh,
I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, hold on. One quick clarification question for me. When you say side pillow, are you talking about a pillow that you are like on like this?
I'm hugging it. It's basically I'm laying on my side and it's taking the weight off of my shoulder. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. Headphones, fan. It's
It's a whole thing.
yeah.
I've
It is
never.
a whole thing.
Yeah. What happens if there's a fire or something?
Who cares? That's a different. I'll deal with that when it happens.
Yeah. Just let them burn up, boys.
Yeah.
I do not struggle to sleep. I just don't sleep.
Well, you're on a good podcast for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No sleep indeed. Yeah, you can text me. You can text me anytime at night, and I'll respond right back.
I have
probably
noticed
up.
that actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
I sleep in. I get up in time for Price is Right, and I'm good to go. It's fine.
yeah. So what time on average do you go to bed then? Would you say?
Go to bed.
Oh, so yeah. I guess like
Enter the bed.
where you are in the bed and actively trying to fall asleep.
Ooh. Well, enter bed
You have entered the bed.
in like 10-ish. But then that's time to watch the news,
Right.
watch Colbert.
But you're not going to bed at this
Not
point.
going to. I'm not even trying
bother?
to go to sleep until.
Why not just stay up?
Oh, because the bed is fuck. I have an
You're like the
I have an
grandpa.
adjustable bed,
Oh, okay.
so that's the best seat in the house. So we can't wait to go to bed. We go to bed at like 7:00 sometimes because we can.
Yeah.
Right.
and it's comfortable. But trying to sleep, that ain't happening until at least 1.
Okay.
There's no even.
Where you're like, you put the little
So are you,
I've taken
are you
my
eating
I
and
take-
drinking and
I take melatonin. I smoke weed. I'm just putting my brain in a headlock and being like, "Shut the fuck up," until about 2:33. You know.
What about Angela? I mean, not to
Oh, she
ask
is.
her sleep history, but
She's amazing because we'll get in bed and I'll be like, "Hey, look at this meme," and she's like, "Ha ha ha." Like literally, like I'll say something to her, and 11 seconds later,
oh
I'm like,
man,
"No way!" I
you dirty
wish.
dog.
dude,
It's
that's like
I mean, it's like a magic trick to me.
Right.
Like, how is that even How does your brain just?
Yeah,
My
some people
brain
are-
needs a fucking long runway and a cheering section and a massage
Right.
and drugs and like
that's what
everything to finally like, okay.
Right.
I've been like that my whole life. It's just the way it is. So,
Man, that's
Yeah.
tough. Yeah, because I'm definitely more of an Angela type where
that's
I fall
again,
asleep
it's
pretty
magic to me. It's a magic
dude.
trick.
Sarah, they're like, there'd be times like, oh, I guess it's after 8:30, so I'm not going to hear from her again tonight.
Wow.
I'd be like, I'm going to be up for another.
17
hours.
hours.
Yeah. I mean, like at least 5.
yeah. Yeah, because my average is about 3 a.m., but that's like the club and I think a lot of other stuff because
Yeah.
just over the years, sometimes you don't even get home till like 1.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, I got to
have-
put my house slippers on and
Yes.
make some tea.
Like I have to wind down. There is no
Yeah, me
way.
too. I can't
It
just-
wouldn't
Oh,
matter
yeah.
how tired I was. If I go home from this podcast, I'm staying up for at least 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't even really want to be. I just am.
Oh yeah, if
I'm
I
not
could,
going to.
if I
It's
could, if I was
ritual.
like Angela
Yeah.
and then just like snap my fingers and fall asleep. Oh, please.
Like I will sacrifice sleep to just have more time doing nothing at home. I'm like, this is more important to me than being okay at work tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
I totally
I have to
get it.
watch Rumble on Cell Block 69 one more time.
I fucking love that movie, buddy. Brawl in Cell Block 99.
I
I know.
He's going to watch it tonight.
Don't watch the director's cut of Payback. I can't believe it costs extra money too because it was like rare.
Yeah. Well, we were sitting there and maybe 10 or 15 minutes into it. I've never seen it. I was
Yeah.
very excited because
Yeah.
Toll was like,
I fucking love this movie.
I fucking love
Yeah.
this movie. And I was
It's-
like,
He
well,
vouched for it in a big
yeah,
way.
in
I
a
did.
big way. And
I was like,
within
this-
15 minutes, he was like, this part wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
This part's not in the movie.
Yeah.
This part's not in the movie. I was like, how many? Usually it's just
Dude,
like a
I
few
kept-
extra seconds on a
You
scene.
left
or
about
something.
halfway through the movie because you were like, how long is this movie going to be? Turns out it was shorter
and
than
worse.
the original, shorter because they had all this other shit in there. Because the whole point of the original is that he is just this hard ass stoic dude that you don't get a lot from. And in this one, there was a lot more like he narrates.
It's like, hey,
the
your money,
original.
baby.
Yeah, it was very. I was like, oh, this sucks. Yeah, the original was much better.
Damn. I'm sure you can find the original.
I have it on DVD. I was excited.
Is
to
there a
have it.
director's cut that's far superior to the original?
Snyder, maybe.
It's fun to see like Little Shop of Horrors. The director's cut it was the
adds-
original cut. The plants win. The
Yeah.
plant wins, and then they take over the cities.
Yeah.
And there's giant plants and like it's fucking mind blowing. If you like that movie, you're like, holy fuck! And they he feeds Audrey to the plant in the director's cut. And you're like, this is fucking insane. Like I can't believe they thought this would fly with audiences because it's
Yeah.
bananas. But yeah,
Huh.
I don't know how many director's cuts I've seen. When they change the movie so much that it's not even the same, then you're like, why?
Yeah.
I don't really want this either.
Yeah, now I'm kind of annoyed that I saw any part of that payback.
Yeah, yeah, I am kind
I
of.
want
am
payback
too.
for that
Yes, yes. I fucking love payback, and
it looked very peak Mel Gibson,
it
which I was very
totally-
excited about.
fucking
Where you're
chain
still kind of,
smoking.
kind of handsome at
Yep.
the, young-ish,
Yep.
like pre-Patriot.
He hadn't left the phone messages yet.
No,
Nope.
no, pre-voicemails.
And he goes hard on his guttural Mel Gibson voice in it. Where he's like, oh,
because he's sort of a con man. Is that
Yeah.
part like in the original as well? Him kind
Yeah.
of grifting.
yeah, he's a grifter and he's a professional thief, and everybody's scared of him.
Yeah.
And this one,
Sounds like a Mel Gibson movie.
yeah,
It does.
he's a bad guy though. Even though everyone's a bad guy, so he's the best of the bad guys. But he's not
last
often
job.
a bad guy in movies, you know.
Yeah, we did talk
Just
about
in
that.
real life.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What's he up to now? I mean,
He has a new movie coming out.
Flight Plan.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that the other day.
with Mark Wahlberg.
That looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes good movies. I mean, he's nuts.
He's a
and
talented director.
anti-Semitic, and
I
crazy,
was
but-
telling AJ yesterday the symbol for his production company, the icon. It's a little eye in a box. It's a little cut from a painting of Jesus on the cross.
yeah,
It's just his eye. Yeah.
Because I saw that
It was,
thing going. I literally, the toll all baked, my eyes like this. I
Yeah.
was like, is that Mel Gibson's company?
Yeah.
Then he explained the
Yeah.
Jesus thing. I was like, oh, it's kind of been like his whole shit with the religion and everything.
super Catholic.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
kind of like worked in the whole time almost.
Yeah.
Because I recognized like the little lightning and then it becomes the painting and all that
Yep.
shit.
Yeah, he's been a weirdo about that the whole way.
And boy, Mel.
Mm-hmm.
What's Mel short for? Melanie?
You know,
Melbourne,
a famous
Melanie Gibson.
unhelpful
That's why he's
Des
so
Moines
pissed.
comedian dated a girl whose name was Mel Gibson.
Really?
And she went by Mel, and her last name was Gibson. And I was like, that's amazing.
Oh, that just
Yeah,
clicked.
a real Des Moines comedy shithead. I don't mind calling him out. Doug Stone, he can go fuck himself. Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You heard it other places.
Yeah, you've heard it everywhere. If you've ever met him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was someone before my time.
He was well before.
Was he like at Bricks and stuff like that?
No, he was always above open mics. He was a touring professional that only did stolen jokes.
Yeah.
We got a couple of those guys still running
Yeah.
around.
Oh,
Now that-
that's evergreen right there.
Yeah.
Yep, that never
Few
ends.
fellas that come to
Not
mind.
quite as blatantly as this guy did. Even though he was stealing jokes from another guy that was also stealing jokes, which is pretty hilarious.
The double steal.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was stealing
Hold the robbery
stolen
on.
jokes. Yeah.
Uno reverse card.
Trafficking and stolen
Yeah.
jokes.
From a dude from Wisconsin.
Wow.
I always forget his name. Dwight something.
York.
Yep, that's right. That's the guy who wrote the actual jokes.
Yeah. The actual.
Right.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
not a thief.
No,
Yes.
he
Nice.
must be pretty funny because
Yeah, he's all right with us.
Yeah.
Everybody else can go fuck themselves.
Mhm.
That's such a strange thing to me because there are people in the current scene, people who I've like cut checks to and Venmos to in our scene who have like I wrote a joke that they now basically do.
Yeah.
And I just was like, all right.
That's
Like-
happened to me so many times.
Yeah, you just retire.
Sometimes
and
it
you're
just
like,
happens.
It just happens.
yeah, like I don't think they did it on purpose. It was just more like, I'm sure I've heard subconsciously things that have become bits.
Yeah.
And some of it's just
the amount
territory
of
that's going
the
to
amount of times Family Guy has done a throwaway joke. That's like one of my go-to bits. I'm like,
That's my closer.
Motherfucker. Yes, yes.
That's happened to me.
And
a
then
few
I don't.
times.
I'm like, I'm still doing it. I did it before I saw it on Family Guy, so I don't fucking.
There's
care.
been several. I mean, I've been doing comedy for 14 years, and there's been several times in the last like 5 or 6 years, for sure, where I've watched specials, and someone does a bit just like mine, but a little different. And I'm
Yeah.
like, And of course, they didn't steal it from me.
No.
They just,
And you didn't steal it from them.
of course, but it's just parallel thinking.
Right.
And there's been times where I'm like, oh, that's so much better. And there's been other times where I'm like, mine was actually the better one.
Yeah.
Take that, Cat Williams and Kyle Kinane and
Go off. AJ Simmons.
AJ. Yeah, actually, you have.
Oh.
Do I?
Yeah, and it's one that I've seen 5 comedians do. It's the joke of I told this joke a decade plus ago of if you're a ghost and the clothes you're wearing when you die.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Damn.
I've seen it online. It's just
Really? God.
It's ubiquitous.
yeah.
I've heard various.
Yours is better.
Yeah. so-
Yours is my. When I told it, I was my reference was like I was talking about 90s. Like it just changes
Right.
decades.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's
Right.
right there. It's one of
When
those
I die,
things.
my ghost is gonna be wearing Z Cavaricis.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I said mine was like Z Cavarici and hypercolor shirt.
Right.
90s shit.
That was also
Right.
where you dropped the Winnie the Pooh in it, right?
yes, and that's
Which is the first I'd heard that,
Yeah.
where somebody wearing a shirt and no pants.
yeah.
With their
and
dick
that is
which is
another
hilarious.
Yes.
ubiquitous-
Yes.
So like Donald Duck.
Yeah,
did or whatever.
yeah.
Another classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the feelings I wish I could get back in life. Like I've talked about it before, but I still remember where I was the first time I ever heard someone like use douchebag as like
Oh
a
yeah.
funny word. Like I had to like basically leave class. I was laughing so hard.
I know before the internet, like
Yeah, it's just the best.
shit would just move literally organically through the world.
Oh dude.
Yeah.
And one of your
Word of
friends
mouth.
would say something, and you're like, douchebag.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I didn't even know what it was.
Just
It was
light your
so
brain
funny,
on
yeah.
fire.
Oh, man.
yeah.
I remember having a conversation I'm pretty sure it was at a Jiffy Lube with one of my sisters. I won't say which sister, I guess.
Yeah.
But she was talking about the F word.
Fudge.
No. The
F-U-C-K?
derogatory word for gay gentlemen.
Oh.
And just how she's like, man, and this is back when people said it every third word.
It was like, how do you do?
everyone,
Yes.
yeah, everyone said it all the time.
Of course.
And we were just having a conversation about how great of a word it was, which is
In the
fucking
Jiffy Lube.
insane. Yeah, like this
What a
word's
great
so
word.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh, the times have changed.
They certainly
Not
have.
Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube probably be fine with it still, but
Yeah,
most other places,
yeah,
they won't take too kindly to that.
yeah. It is crazy. That was one
Douchebag's
yeah.
still on the table. Thank
Oh
God.
hell yeah!
Oh yeah, it's going.
Where's that
strong.
going? Nowhere.
Douchebag was always around too. When I was a kid, you'd hear that every once in a while. You're like, huh,
Really?
But then,
Man.
geez, it's been like 15 or so years. Like that became
Yeah.
like big douchebag.
I mean, it still gets me when I'll hear someone say like I heard someone call someone a shit dick the other day, and it was like really funny. I mean,
Yeah.
because I hadn't heard it in a while. It was just one of those things where, yeah, man, I still love it. I love cussing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
sure.
It's the best part of being older.
Yeah, getting the
Can't do
cuss.
shit about it, Mom.
Yeah.
What? Come at me. That's a cool moment when you can like cuss in front of your parents again.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's not like, at least for me, it wasn't a birds and the bees kind of talk about it. It was just one day I came back and I was like, oh yeah, Mom, fuck.
Yeah. You just kind of start doing it.
I looked down a pair of sunglasses
Yeah.
at her and said,
And it's weird. So my
Yeah, but-
my kids do it now. Like they're showing up
being like,
saying
fuck
like
you, Dad.
shit, fuck, bitch, shit. You know, like here we are.
Yeah.
And you were like, you were a bunch of bitches growing up.
You're a couple of shit dicks yourself.
Yeah, cussing rocks.
It is fun.
It is fun.
It is weird that it's still, after all this time, it's 2024. The world is on fire. AI is taking over. Fascists are taking over.
We're
But
old.
still, you can't say fuck, shit, stuff like that. And
I was going to bring something up that I
Toll,
was
you
just
got the
reminded
floor.
of. House of the Dragon last night. I was shocked to see a fucking dick being sucked on camera.
Oh yes, yeah.
Holy shit!
I know.
And we were like, "Do you think that was a fake dick?" It probably
totally was.
Yeah.
It has
a
to be
fake
because that's
enormous dick.
Because then
Yeah.
that's acting.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
Right.
I know. I saw that too. I'm like, I think this is a first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone is filleting someone on television.
Yeah.
It was a hard ass dick too.
Yeah, a big old.
It looked.
Johnson.
It looked like a fucking. It looked like a broom
turnstile.
handle or something.
Yeah.
It was like way too long and like
Yeah.
way too long and
Yeah.
and like
way too
Straight.
long. What's he talking
straight. Yeah.
It was like two cylindrical.
It was
Way too
yeah,
long.
yes, that's what I'm saying. It looked like
Yeah.
it looked like a literal pipe or a broomstick.
about? Yeah,
Yeah.
They put a little mushroom cap on it.
Someone
And
was
we're like,
sucking
we're
it.
good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the guy stands up and you're like, oh, there's
Yeah.
Aegon Schlong.
yeah.
How you like them apples?
Then we saw his whole
Yeah, we did-
package
we did see
immediately after.
Which is a move. I mean,
Yeah, a lot of dicks. In
If
about
anyone's
2
going to do it,
minutes.
it's going to be Game of Thrones because they
Oh, yeah.
are dick heavy.
Well, I bet there's something kind of freeing about that. Like
We were
just showing
saying-
your dick to the whole world where it's like, look, here you go.
Yeah,
There's nothing left to be imagined, I guess, unless it's not hard. And then you're like, well, there's a little bit left to it.
yeah.
I love it. Whenever there's like full frontal male nudity in a movie, it's always like, you chubbed it up.
No shit.
Like dudes know, like
I know a chub
the,
when I see one.
unattended male penis is minding its own business, hiding in the laying back in
Yeah.
the cut. You know what I'm saying?
It's sitting. It's resting on top of your balls, waiting for the
whenever
word.
someone's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Their dick's out. It's like
Yeah.
you were just whacking off like a minute
Right.
right before
Oh, yeah.
fucking they start rolling.
I
It's
loved
it's raising its eyebrows
Yeah.
like that.
50 Cent even was talking
Yeah.
about showing his dick in a movie, and openly he was like, "Oh yeah, man." He's like, "I was fucking out in the back."
Of course.
Like, yeah,
Right.
You got to make it
shit.
presentable. You got to get it
Yeah.
fucking screen ready.
Yeah.
That's like when you go to the doctor and you're like, "Come on, you son of a bitch."
Yeah. We would
Get
talk
excited about something.
Yeah.
Charlotte, did we talk about this recently? The doctor penis?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
On
did.
the
Yeah,
podcast?
probably.
Yeah, on a podcast. Yeah, that's right. Because I was talking about like medium penis and like doctor.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like a normal, just like you said,
Yeah.
hanging out penis,
Right.
is exactly that. It's just
Right.
kind of hanging
Yeah,
out.
you're
you know,
you're not
depends.
you're
It's
if
like
your-
someone
if your
breaking into
penis
your
does- Yeah,
house.
if it doesn't have a spotlight on it, it has this little reading glasses on. You know,
Yeah.
it's
It's got the
shrunk
paper in its
back.
hand.
Yeah, it's
yeah. What's on the TV guide tonight?
right.
Yeah.
It's not large and in charge.
No, because it has no reason to be.
Right.
You know,
It has no reason to be.
it grows to the contain. You know what it needs. It's like
It fills the space.
There are
that's
varying
necessary.
degrees.
That's right.
And like, if you're about, I find that if I'm nice and warm and
It's a
I've
hero with many faces.
smoked weed as I used to back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
In
you're
your
like,
youth.
time to go to bed. Or take a piss before bed, or we're like, my goodness, look at you, buddy,
Yeah.
doing great. Yeah, yeah.
Anyone need to shoot a scene right now? This guy's camera ready.
Did someone order a stallion? Yes. Yeah. Somebody better feed this man some
And
hay.
then you go to pee before you do stand up.
It's the worst
you're like-
penis you've ever seen.
You're like,
Yeah.
I know I have a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah,
Hey, get out. Get out of here.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yes.
yeah,
One could argue this is a lovely clitoris, really,
yeah.
depending on how you think about it. Yeah. You know, so I'm glad you said that with the fervor that you did, because I actually would say that
No,
I guess it was Amond is his
Yes,
name.
it was made screen ready.
Yeah.
I thought it was,
But it was like,
it was respectable. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it was overworked.
No,
Yeah.
there's a fine line.
Underpaid and
Yeah.
overworked.
You don't
I
want to
think
have an
not.
erection, but you don't want to be in its
It wasn't like
primal.
you don't want it to
jacuzzi
be
penis.
dormant.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for.
You don't want to be
Dormant.
hibernating.
That's the correct
Or
term.
go home for its nap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
All snuggled in.
Yeah.
an igloo penis or something. That's
Yeah.
what you want. Yeah, no, I liked the fact that it was like that looks like just a good,
The bear's getting ready for spring.
a day at the office kind
Yeah.
of penis, you
Yeah.
know? Because some of them you do see and you're like, yeah, like you said, overly chubbed, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
I know better, but don't insult me.
Don't. We know. We know what happened.
We've all chubbed it up before, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I wish I could see my own penis, like, you know, in that way. You know? You ever think about
Yeah.
that?
I do.
From
Where it's
someone else's perspective.
Yeah. Like,
I don't wish to see that. I'll rather keep the illusion alive, you know?
But I feel like looking down at my own penis is like the worst angle possible, you know? Because I'm literally looking down at it.
Is there a good angle?
I think like dead on or a little looking up. You know?
I like to turn my phone camera on and walk over it, you know?
Yeah.
I like to get the below look.
Yeah, the undercarriage.
The more threatening
Somebody
look.
needs an oil change.
Got some high mileage on this boy.
Go ahead and change the filter on that. I'm in.
This thing needs full synthetic. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like looking up in awe is like a good place for, penis.
That's
That's
the
why they build
angle.
statues that way.
That's right.
So David's little penis doesn't look so bad when you're kind of looking at it.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
But if you were looking down at it like that, you'd be like,
Nice try.
yeah, nice try.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Now, what should we argue about? Here we go. I don't think we can argue about this. Have you both? Has everyone here listened to "The Day the Laughter Died" by Andrew Dice Clay?
Of course.
I am
I
not.
love
You
it.
have not.
Nope. That's
I,
the one with no laughter.
I listen to it like
Essentially,
once
yeah.
every year or so. I'll
Yeah.
pop it in.
It's a great holiday listen because it was recorded like right around Christmas.
Yeah.
Between two different shows, so it's like 2 hours long. But the way because Rick Rubin produced it, which is
Yeah.
also kind of cool. I think that's also why it's so good. Is I guess it was Rick's idea basically to be like, I think he just talked to Dice.
Yeah, basically, at the time, Andrew Dice Clay is the biggest comedian really ever.
Selling
Yeah.
out
Certainly at the
arenas.
time, but
Yeah.
a total sensation. I remember as a kid, loved it. I still love. Look, I love Andrew Dice Clay. I want to apologize for it. Does his shit hold up? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You could argue it didn't then.
Dickory dock. Yeah.
It was like offensive then.
Some bitch was sucking my cock.
It was. But so imagine an artist at the height of their powers, and then a producer says, "Hey, let's go to a club where no one knows who you are, and we'll record an album there."
Yeah, like they didn't advertise it.
Didn't advertise. It was somewhere in New York. I can't remember where.
Dangerfields, I read.
Was
I read
it?
up.
Yeah, that may have been it.
Now defunct.
But a bunch of people that didn't really know a bunch of like New York tourists didn't know who he was, and Andrew Dice Clay is just fucking with them.
Yeah.
And that's the album.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
a
all
double album.
It's like crowd work, improv
Yeah.
type shit.
Yeah.
It's not material.
The Day the
really.
Laughter
Interesting.
Died.
The Day Laughter, and I will say it is by far my favorite. I re-listened to it last night, and I was crying with laughter.
Oh,
Wow.
it's amazing.
Like-
Especially if you're a comedian and you understand
Yes.
the machinations of comedy and everything.
It's a
to listen to
comedian's
that,
comedian album.
it
A comedy
is.
album.
It's a real slice of a time and place with a person that was way too good for what they were doing. It's amazing. I love it.
Well, and it's probably my favorite line in the whole thing, and I think it perfectly sums up what it is. So good that I put it on the scroll. This isn't about laughter, folks. It's about comedy. Where basically he's like willfully bombing throughout
Yeah.
it, and he's like walking people.
Yes, they're
Like,
yelling at him.
Yes.
but not like a big crowd. Like
It sounds like a
18
lefty's
people.
mic, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's like a shit.
It's
gig
not a full
mic.
room.
You know, it's so.
There's no roaring laughter.
I can't believe how did he convince Dice to do that this was a good idea?
I'm not sure, but thank God, because there's a second part. The second one is not as good. Some people think it's better. I do not agree. I've listened to both last night. Because I was like, I want to factory reset my comedy,
Yeah.
in a way of just like this era of the club is over. I still, even by the end of this, I've decided I do still love comedy. The last weekend especially was great, like seeing all
Oh, it was
the
so
people
fun.
and friends, and it was great shows.
So fun.
Despite being up against the art festival and all that shit, and pretty good weather. Yeah, in my opinion, it is essential listening. My favorite material album, or maybe one that impacted me the most, is Skanks for the Memories. Like for jokes.
David Tell.
David Tell,
Yeah.
Skanks for the Memories. But if you, for like what comedy is to me, The Day the Laughter Died is pure like open mic. Like the comedy that you do that makes you a great comedian is what I think it is, basically.
Okay.
And he does it masterfully of just the first like 3 minutes.
He knows what he's doing too. That's the whole thing.
He doesn't talk at all.
It's
Like,
not like he's confused and can't
No.
understand why he's bombing. He knows exactly. He knows exactly what he's doing.
I have some classic.
Did this do well?
Yes.
Yeah, it did pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Because it came out in 1990, if I remember correctly, which was like I think within a year of him breaking the record by selling out MSG 2 times back to back.
Yeah.
So like Alex said, he was at the height.
Right.
Like he just done something no one had ever done comedically. with
Like at the
turnouts.
time in the 90s, like that point, like Michael Jackson, Madonna, the huge people at the time, he was right up there with them.
Yeah.
But it was an absolute like
the Dice Man.
runaway explosion.
What a downfall.
Yes.
Right.
He's kind of had some weird little resurgence. He was on Entourage, I know, for a bit. And yeah, it's kind of strange. I mean, I would go see him live even now.
I'll tell you my favorite thing. If you don't follow Andrew
still
Dice
at it.
Clay on like social media, you should, because the thing he does, his main thing he does now, he still does comedy. He does shows all over the place, but on social media, he goes around New York and he'll just see like unsuspecting people, and he's like, "Hey, you wanted to take the picture with me?" I'm like, "You want the?" And they don't know who he is, and he just assumes that they know that they understand
Right.
he's famous. And I mean, it's a bit, he knows what he's doing, but it is so fucking. That's all he does. He goes around, is like, "You wanted the picture," and people are like, "I don't know."
No.
It's like, "Yeah, me, the face. We'll go ahead and take the picture. You want?" And they'd have no idea who he is, and it's the greatest thing. I can't recommend it enough.
Following him right now.
It's all he does. He does it daily.
He's
it
a pretty
makes me-
decent actor, too.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of
The
stuff.
dad in A Star is Born.
Yeah.
Is Alex wearing a Chappelle Roan shirt?
Yes.
Chapel Rowan.
Chapel, my bad.
I didn't know what that was.
Oh, Shiloh was nice enough to respond, actually. Thanks, Shiloh. Feel free to answer these questions. Nobody important who is one of our biggest fans, from what I can tell, says, "Hey, fellas, would you like to say anything back?" I'm going to say hello.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Thanks for being a diehard fan.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you have full control over the chat, Shiloh. So.
Oh, I know.
Oh, all right.
Just laying it down.
Did you go see Chapel?
I didn't. My wife got this shirt for me today. So Chapel Rowan is a new pop star, and my wife caught on to her quickly, like a couple months ago. And whenever we go where she play Chapel Rowan, I'm like, okay.
Enough.
Oh, now you got the shirt.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And then I go to the shop, and all my employees love Chapel Rowan. My daughter loves it, so I've been bombarded with it. And now I'm like, I'm all in. There's been like Madonna, and then Lady Gaga, and then now it's Chapel Rowan. This is the next pop princess.
Damn.
She's taking over.
So were you a little
I
monster
feel like you skipped
for
a
Lady
bunch
Gaga
in there.
then?
No,
Oh, I thought he was talking about ones that he loved.
no, like the big pop.
Yeah.
like the apex, like
Yeah.
female pop voice.
I mean, I have been hearing, especially over this last year, a lot about Chapel, you say? Chapel Rowan? Okay.
it's good stuff. Check it out.
Yeah.
I love it now.
I like
I'm
the
all
shirt.
in. Yeah, it's a good shirt.
I've seen, 'cause she's like a red-haired girl, right?
Well, yes.
I don't know.
She changes her look a lot.
Okay,
but-
well, I've seen some.
How old is
red-
she?
Ooh, I'm guessing 20s.
Cool.
Sweet.
Young people music.
Yeah.
Hey, look, guys,
I hate
I'm
it.
excited about young people music. This happens once every 4 years. So
Yeah.
I don't actually.
I'm all
hate.
for Alex. And,
I listen to top 40 sometimes.
yeah.
I'm like,
Toll likes the mumble rap. I'll put some on for
yeah, I
him.
don't mind it at all.
I can't.
Yeah.
Not all of it. I didn't. 21 Savage, I do not understand.
It was a pretty bad live performance. That
21 Savage
Boy,
is
on SNL. I was
is
like, damn dog,
is
you're
so
terrible.
mind-blowingly, confusingly bad to me. I'm just like I was born in hip hop. I love
Born in
hip hop.
it, molded by it.
Exactly right. Like there's a chart that shows you like this. It goes this way for everyone. How like the music you like when you're between the ages of like 13 and 17, that's your music, and it keeps like you keep liking new music, and then when you hit about 30, it starts going down, and
where
it
I'm
just
at.
drops off. The older you get, the more it drops off. Your brain just it's a brain thing. Your brain just isn't into it.
Memory card full.
Yeah,
Yes.
it just is not
By the
interested.
time Mumble
Don't get
Rap
it.
came out, I was already a man.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw 21 Savage. I'm like, man, I love hip hop. I want to be cool. This is so bad. I can't even believe this is a real thing.
I don't get Ice Spice.
I'm still young
either.
enough that I like.
Oh, Ice Spice.
I like
same
Ice
thing.
Spice too.
No,
I mean, it's definitely not like my favorite. I just like it and accept it for what it is.
you said something to me recently.
It's the vibe.
Where you said music these days is more about a vibe. I'm like, that informs all this. I can at least understand a lot of this
Yeah.
now because it's more about a vibe. Where in my day it was more about a message. Now it's more about a vibe. And I get that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Message was, give me that nut.
The message was pussy control.
Regulate.
Yeah. Somebody fucks with you, you shoot them. That was the message.
I love that message.
Clear cut.
I get
Yes,
it.
yeah.
I vibe with that. That's my vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be interested because in my little heart of hearts, my bald heart of hearts. I feel like I'll always be open to it, and I think you are open to a lot of shit. Obviously,
You'll be surprised.
I'll be surprised. I think I will be surprised
because you want it. Because I want to be.
Right.
I love music. I want new great music.
Oh,
always.
yeah.
And you're very young at heart. I would argue.
I would like to. I would like to think
Young
so.
soul.
Yeah.
Dare I
but
say it.
man, like I've said before, like
But then-
I'll go to like let's listen to the top 20 of hip hop. And it's like little scoot bitch, and I'm like, okay, that's terrible.
Scoot
It's
bitch.
like
I love
party
her.
pants.
Yeah.
Marie P was good, man.
Little something. You're like, okay, and you listen, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I can't even latch on to a
How about we get a
beat.
big
I
one in
can't
here?
understand any of this. And then
Big Al.
Also, alternative music doesn't change that much. You know?
I mean, that's what I'm finding
Yeah.
is that nothing changes. I mean, it's all kind
Yeah.
of just beating a dead horse at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
Everything that we're doing, even
true.
podcasting. I'm kind of like,
Wait, are you saying this isn't fresh and new?
3 comedians just talking bullshit. 3 white guys. Has this been done before?
and then sometimes a fourth white guy comes in.
Let me keep the lady behind the computer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Where she belongs.
I'm gonna get a Shiloh cam. Actually, I want footage of her at all times. I did write down some of my favorite lines from the day the laughter died. By the way, if you're
All right.
interested.
I'm ready.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Yeah, I also wrote that why I think I like this so much because it is offensive. There's stuff in it that I'm like, damn,
Oh, yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
You know, on lots of levels. But I will say because of the improv nature and like the crowd working, it does feel it scratches the itch of like it's pure instinctual thought.
Right.
Which sometimes I see people do that on stage. It's really hard to do because it takes a lot of courage because you might say something fucked up, which
Yeah.
he does a few times in this.
Yeah.
But I do have respect for someone like actually doing that on wax, like for real.
Yeah. Like I'm a Des Moines 6 and a Tumwa 13.
Yeah.
Oh boy, right.
That
off
was
the
really
dome.
good. I love that.
Yeah, you had a few extra like newer tags on your jokes. I'm glad that your set was recorded because there were some good ones that I forgot to tell you. So I'll watch the clip.
Sorry for burying everybody.
You did.
You did do great.
You did do good. I'm actually going to release my 5 minutes, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, I've decided because I've never put out a single clip of my stand up before.
I know
Are you gonna release?
I know you recorded my set, my everyone's set, and I'm like, oh, I actually had a good set on video.
I know.
Great set with
Never
new
happened.
bits.
Yes.
Good stuff.
I've decided my name of my special, and this is true, is going to be 5 Minutes in Heaven, a dirty little special. Because it was all like my dirtiest jokes, basically. So you can look forward to that. 5 Minutes in Heaven, AJ Simmons.
You're gonna release it whole?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I think there might be like a little bit of editing just because we had 2 cameras and then like 1 roaming. So I think it'll look good. Like we got nice ass.
I've been doing this shit for 16 years, and the only thing that's been released is what you've released.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. I kind of like pulled it back over time only because I just wasn't happy with the recording quality I got for us out of it. But the Alone on Christmas was a fun thing. I think we should do it again. The like 3-way EP where we each did like 15 or something.
Yeah.
We could do a video version maybe. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, the guy who fucked her ass.
Sounds
That's pretty funny.
It was very funny. What are you gonna do? What are you doing? Going to take a dump? That he just says that
To a guy in the audience. Yeah.
And then this is a line a lot of people have heard from it, but somebody who's leaving with his wife says, "You're about as funny as a bottle of milk."
Yeah.
A lady says, "I want to be an attorney." And he says, "Great. Well, bend over and let me cross-examine you, honey." So, yeah, it's not exactly highbrow shit, but, you know, it's, man, oh, man. I was laughing my fucking ass off. I did smoke a marijuana cigarette that night, so that might have helped. But
I mean, that's the thing about comedy that is sort of getting lost in the shuffle anymore with like woke versus anti-woke and all that bullshit. Like, I like when people just go for it and just let the chips fall where they may. Like, say something crazy. In a comedy room, that's where you're supposed to be able to do that. Like, say some wild shit. Take a risk.
yeah.
It's okay. And that's all he did. So
Yeah, I mean,
I do appreciate it.
It's 2 hours of him only doing that, basically. Just like, all right, there's no editing, really. I mean, you're making it up on the fly. So only the editing you can think of, like, in split seconds. Yeah, I really think it's the best comedy album of all time for a comedian, at least.
Yes.
Damn.
It's a real slice. It's a real.
I think you'll really like it when you hear
slice.
it, Toll, especially you. I think you'll enjoy it.
And the lo-fi quality of it too. It's not.
There's a little hiss.
He's
through
not.
it.
He's not in a stadium. He's not at Madison Square Garden. He's not at a huge club. He's at fucking Dangerfields on like a Wednesday with a bunch of out of towners who got free tickets, and he's just fucking around, fucking with them.
Have you heard it, Dave?
What?
The Day the Laughter Died.
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree like that? It's like one of the best. Because there are a lot of like Carlin has some ones that I think have actually aged really well.
Oh yeah.
Not that that's like
Oh yeah.
not that that's exactly shocking to say, but I mean I guess it is kind of shocking because a lot of comedy doesn't age well.
Some of Carlin's shit has aged so well. You're like, damn dog. What did you know that we didn't?
Kelly Carlin, his daughter, posted on Twitter today. I saw. She said, "Oh man, don't you hate it when your dad's right about everything?"
Yeah.
Yep, he sure was.
Dude.
Yeah.
Woo.
Damn.
Cha-cha.
Yeah, I remember when he died. That was like 2009-ish, somewhere around there. And I was a huge fan. I grew up watching his HBO specials, and I loved him. And so then I got on the Pirate Bay and just downloaded all of his specials and watched them all. I'm like, the best.
Yeah. This is everyone's reminder to go back and listen to all of these great comedians.
Yeah, George Carlin, it's literally timeless at this point because it's everything he said is still absolutely correct because we've been living in a shithole for the last 40 years.
Well, and like you said too, I do think like there are a lot of good reasons why like the Me Too and just all of this shit like has happened in the industry. Should happen. Glad it did.
Yeah.
It's going to continue to happen. Good.
Correct.
But like you said as well, like I don't know, just listening to The Day the Laughter Died, like you said, and when Dave and I went to New York was the same thing. It like reset the thermostat for me of like there were people there still like swinging for the fences on crazy material, and I'm like, yeah, that's what should be going on.
Right.
Like if you're not bombing, you're not trying, basically.
Yeah. I'm trying then.
Yeah. No one tries harder than Alex. But obviously you can bomb and not be trying to, but you know, it's Some
people that bomb are trying very, very hard.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah, but the people that bomb that aren't that
the way we mean it is in the cool, like artistic way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because there is even at open mics, like that was the thing. Like that's why I love Beechwood, and I'm actually excited for this like dormancy of Teehees for a while because I think better material is going to come out of it for a lot of people. Because Beechwood, we're also going to be loaning one of our speakers to Beechwood, I think, to get that PA working out over there. The crowd has become too large.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I believe that.
But I actually like having a fight against what's going on upstairs. It's like everything you need to fight for, like Lefties was too, you know?
It just sharpens your sword. That's the whole
Yes.
thing. Like, and I've never been against teehees at all. I love,
better
I mean, a little bit, but that's just because I don't like Dave.
Yeah.
But
Low key.
But no, but like going to a comedy club, the people that are coming in are expecting a comedy show. They want to laugh. You're teed up, and then even your worst jokes maybe will do a little better than they should. But if you go to a bar show, if you're doing comedy somewhere where the people there are having it put upon them,
Yeah, ambush comedy.
yeah, it's a different scenario, and it's where you get sharp. That's no one will. Any comedian would agree with that. So people that are upset about the fact that I said all you ding dongs have to go out and fucking work for it now, I'm right.
I love those
I know
posts
I'm right
because
so
it's like what I want to say, but I can't.
Yeah.
So I let Alex do it for me.
you let me do the talking.
That's
I
right.
thrive in an
Alex is my
environment.
raven that screeches in people's faces for me.
I got a scroll for you. You suck. You suck.
But I'm excited for it, like even just for my own material, and that's why I want to put out this little 5 minutes. Is that I'm actually proud of like some of these jokes I've put together. You know,
Yeah,
it's
for
not
sure, man.
exactly fucking Shakespeare over here, but it's fun. Just like a lot of jokes that like all of us told everybody has written, which is why I wanted to shoot all these anyway. Also for the posterity, I guess, of like seeing the old club because that'll be funny to see someday.
yeah.
But yeah, I want everyone to go home, listen to The Day the Laughter Died, and then come with some hot fire this Tuesday tomorrow night.
Oh man,
Yeah, everyone's saying super offensive shit.
I can do that.
But it is a little bit of that of like I felt challenged by it even as someone, and like you said, even like owning the club, there was this thing of like just wanting to be polished more than you should be for an open mic.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just going up and doing material,
Yeah,
like to look good versus like, no, you should be kind of like bombing and working on the shit.
Yeah.
Like I went up there because I was trying from New York. It made me want to do it. Or I thought was going to be a killer bit of me being like, from being sober, my dreams are so boring that I just had like a dream about an Oldsmobile Alero. And I wasn't even the car. I wasn't the car like the movie cars. It was just like stock footage of an Oldsmobile Alero. Because my brain just like couldn't think of anything good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that car was only made for like 4 years.
No one cares about it.
Like that car wasn't even liked when it was made, which promptly bombed. But it was like a good, like it felt good actually because I was like, I feel like I'm at least trying something,
Yes, that's the whole point.
Dude,
like you have to take a risk.
yeah.
It's easy to be like, oh, I think they'll like this. Fuck that. What do you want to say? Say what you want to say. Like, what's the whole point then?
Yeah, kind
The
of goes to your
original.
music thing a little bit of like there is. I do think there is a message in all of like comedy that works, like whatever it is. Like even in The Day the Laughter Died, his message was that it was that thing he said of it's not about laughter, it's about comedy. Like he's making something far funnier by like subverting everything you thought it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
By being like the most famous comedian in the world and then putting out an album essentially of him bombing.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Who would do that? How could you? I mean,
Yeah,
push something. Do something you haven't seen. Do something you haven't heard. Give us an original take. Say something offensive. You know, push. Do something. Be interesting.
Yeah.
Be entertaining. I think people get way up in their ass about what they should or shouldn't say, and a lot of my biggest gripe with any comedian that I see is like, you're doing a first draft joke.
Yeah.
You thought of an idea and you're like, pay dirt. Like, no. Think for 2 more minutes on that. Right. What you just thought of is something 1,000 other people have thought of. Keep digging.
Yeah.
That's how I do jokes, though. I mean, there's different ways,
There are, of course.
Because I just write a premise, and then I get on stage and I'm like, beep, burp, beep, beep,
But you're
beep.
so funny. Like, I mean, I've said this for a long time, but like, you have a storytelling. Here we go. But it's you do have a gift that a lot of people don't have of like making something funny and interesting. Like, I've told stories that should be good, and I've ruined them by telling them poorly on this podcast. Like, especially in the older ones, you know what I'm saying? I have records of this. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I've heard you tell stories that I'm like, I'm not even sure I remember, like, did anything happen in it? But it's just so funny the way you tell it.
Oh yeah,
you
there's
know?
a lot of comedians like that where like
you do have that gift. So that
Cat Williams is like that a bit, where it's like you're just laughing. You're like, but then if you actually try and deconstruct what he did, like, this is really basic.
yeah, Sam Hershock's kind of that way a little too.
Yeah, but your ability to hold the audience's attention and tell a story and be captivating, that's a different skill that not everyone has.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about like writing the world's best joke. It's performing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's getting them to believe it, pulling people in, and making something out of really nothing. I mean, that's a lot of jokes. I mean, a lot of my jokes are that way too, where there's not a lot going on. I'm just trying to sell you on something, and it's up to me to sell.
That's what
You're trying to make them feel something.
at Lefties for a while. I was so comfortable at Lefties that I wouldn't even have anything to say. I would just get on stage and start saying dumb shit I was thinking of.
That's kind of what I want to do now.
Yeah.
A little, at least at Beechwood. Not that like I don't want to not. It's not that I don't want to write. It's that I think I'm so afraid of like not doing well in the perception of it that I need to like get myself out of it by going up and just actually like eating shit
Yeah.
off of like
and then
premises.
dealing with that in the moment.
Yes,
because
like
then that's
making
where
that funny.
you'll grab onto something.
That's the shake weight
A
of comedy.
rope it is.
Clip that out. Clip that out.
But that's where the magic happens.
It is.
You can take a dog shit premise and be like, I think there's something here. And then in the moment, like, you'll feel the heat from the audience, and then your brain will snap in and it'll throw you a rope, or sometimes not, and you'll just die. But that's the crucible right there.
Yeah, that's like the justice in it. as
That's why you're
well.
at an open mic, is to die.
That's right.
You know?
That's
where
how I
dreams go
feel.
to die.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved during your hosting at the last show, you were like, him and I are the two oldest open micers in Des Moines. about you and Alex.
Yeah,
I was like, I guess when you put it that way.
I wear that badge proudly.
Yes.
Yes.
Sheriff open mic.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Just for some of the open micers who are hearing this and saying, I knew I was right for going up there and saying terrible things. I knew I was right.
Yeah, that's not what we mean.
I knew I was right.
There's no hope for those people.
But going up and doing the exact same damn joke 20 times is the definition of insanity. Try something new, damn it.
Yeah.
Especially if the
more a
joke
try
you've done
something
20 times ain't going great.
Yeah. And don't be afraid. I think, like try something new and don't be afraid to speak your mind. Like if you have a mind that's full of like shit that is going to get you in trouble, then that's something you need to address anyway. And if this is the start of it, then great. But
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But like there's a lot of people that have, like there are people I know, including myself or whatever, in the scene that I'm like, I know you have more you want to say about this, and it'd probably be very funny. We're all just scared. You know?
Yeah.
That's what, like, you should be fearless on stage. And I've, like,
I fear no man.
kind of like what you're talking about. If I do a new bit on stage open mic and it works, I'm like, oh, great. And then I'll try it again next week. I'm like, great, it works. Back in the quiver you go. Let's try something else. I'll pull that out when I need it. But I'm always just
You
trying
put
to
it in
find
your
something.
quiver
Yeah.
on your back.
And there's like 3 things back there. And they're all bad.
It's gay shirt joke.
Yep. Exactly.
I was talking to Sarah about when I quit drinking. She's like, "Oh, your comedy is so much better now," and I was like, "I didn't think it was that bad."
How dare
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, there was a while there where you just got on stage super drunk and talked shit about the whole comedy scene," and I was like, "I did." She's like, "Yeah, all the time," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's why people don't like me sometimes."
If she doesn't like that, she's wrong.
Sarah, You better leave that stuff in boxes, baby. You're out.
Yeah.
Don't get too comfy.
Yeah.
But I did. I remember enjoying doing that also.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an element of all. I think you'll be inspired, Tool, if you listen to this album.
Yeah.
You have to find it on YouTube, though. It's off Spotify for reasons unknown. But maybe that was Dice's choice, but you can find it on.
I wonder if it's on Apple Music.
Yeah, it might be.
I feel like it is.
Is there video or is it just audio?
Just audio.
Which I like.
Yeah, it's much more theater of the mind than.
Yeah.
Because you can hear like the little glasses and things like that, and like this tape hiss through it, and I love it, man. I
Nice.
absolutely love it. I want to buy the vinyl of it, but it's like $180. Yeah, just because I'm sure it was like a limited pressing kind of thing. But that's one of those ones where I'm like, it's just so like you could see it being blacklisted. It might be like might be why it's not on Spotify now. I don't know, but it used to be on there.
Well, offensive is coming back around
That's right.
as it does.
And I think it's not to get social or political, but I guess that's what we're talking about. Yeah, I think it's always going to balance itself out in that way. People don't like to be censored. That's sort of our whole thing around here. Not like on this podcast, but like in the country. It's sort of what we're known for.
Yeah.
And I think it seems like every country that doesn't have it or that is interested in the U.S. in any type of way, all envy it. Because there's a lot of places that don't have that freedom.
Yeah.
Like at that level. Even Canada like doesn't have it fully at that level.
Yeah. Freedom of speech does not exist everywhere.
No, and so it's kind of a thing we're lucky to have. And I guess it's probably why we have stand up in the first, like why we created
It is an American, American art form.
the great American pastime.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it can be like kind of cool and important. I don't think that's like its most important thing is to be like politically or whatever. I think it is to like entertain people, make them laugh. But I do think it strangely does represent a lot of, like the inner id of like America in certain ways.
Yeah.
Like what's working and what's not. Like I remember when all that before Michael had died and Cat Williams had that bit that I thought like basically covered it in a way that no one else had. And the whole bit, if I remember it right, was essentially, I like bitches, so I have stuff in my house that bitches like.
Yeah.
Now, what the fuck does Michael got?
That was very controversial in the black community.
Oh, I'm sure. But it was
yeah.
like one of those things where it was so succinct and he was able to say it in a way that like news agencies couldn't because they have to be a certain type of way. They have to be like neutral enough or whatever the fuck it is. Where there is kind of a little bit of like the jester gets to say the thing that like
Exactly right. That's why we're here.
That's right.
That's why we're professional comedians. We're trying to save the world through our jests.
That's why I wear that carnival hat when I,
That's why I gotta deliver beer for 12 hours tomorrow.
I'm a jester.
Yes.
He delivers it on unicycle. Anyway, we have far exceeded our court mandated time.
We're not going to fight.
Gee.
All right.
Not
We don't have
tonight.
time.
Ding,
We don't have
ding, ding. As we bring No Sleep Airlines into a descent,
Controlled descent.
controlled
For
descent.
once.
Drink cart's going away. Thanks, Dave, for coming in. Shyla, you're the best in the biz. What can we say? She don't take no shit off nobody.
Nope.
I've been AJ Wait. Venmo at Tobo Cop. We got diapers. We got formula. We got shit to buy. That's first
Yeah.
and foremost.
There's one more baby shower.
Damn.
Still.
Getting showered.
Yeah.
So hit the Venmo first, and then once you're done there, head on over to Black Cat Ice Cream, buy a couple pints, and then go to patreon.com/nosleepdsm, and then come to Big Grove Brewery July 13th to watch some of Teehee's finest on tour around this fine city. Moberg Gallery in August. So
Nice.
see you there. AJ Simmons, I'm getting it together. Don't worry about it.
Hell yeah. I've been told McGrain.
And I have been and continue to be at all times the ice cream king of Des Moines, Alex Carter.
Fucking age, Toll and Alex. They're fucking hilarious.
This is a certified hood classic.